WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
I'm Christine Lisi right now. Free agent receiver Odell Beckham Jr. getting ready to choose his next team is focusing on the Chiefs, Packers, and Saints, reports ESPN's Diana Rossini. OBJ wants to spend the rest of this season with a playoff contender. The former Browns receiver cleared waivers yesterday. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer says a player was hospitalized because he was having breathing issues due to COVID-19. He's in stable condition but remains hospitalized. ESPN's Courtney Cronin reports the player is offensive guard Dakota Dozier, who is vaccinated. The Vikings have 5 players on the COVID-19 list. As the Packers prepare for Sunday's home game against the Seahawks, they do expect they'll have quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the field. Coach Matt LaFleur, though, will have a game plan for second-year QB Jordan Love just in case. Saturday's the earliest Rodgers can return from the COVID list. Even with an extended absence from the field, Rodgers will be fine once he's back, says ESPN's David Pollack.
When you've played quarterback for 35 years in the NFL like Aaron Rodgers has, absolutely. I mean, he's seen it all. He's done it all. And, oh, by the way, their defense is playing good football. Like, this team looks, Dylan looks great running the football. Like, this is a really, really good football team.
Jets quarterback Mike White will start a third straight game Sunday against the Bills. Coach Robert Saleh said Zach Wilson's knee injury a factor in the decision. Joe Flacco backs up White this week.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword Greene to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Greene to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on your local devices on YouTube. Check us out. Subscribe to the channel. What were you going to say?
I just learned a very valuable lesson.
What's that?
When you're on camera as well as radio, you cannot shove a handful of chips in your mouth.
Yeah, don't do that.
As the intro is opening.
Yeah, do not do that.
You can't do that.
It's been a busy day here in the studio. Jeremy's just still trying to get the taste of crawfish out of his mouth from having to eat the crawfish yesterday for the torture ticket payoff.
Well, I have to say, Crab du Jour does an amazing job of making seafood. That is just not a seafood that I am ever going to be okay with.
Yeah,
I mean, doing a shellfish autopsy to get just a little itty bitty thing.
He was not a fan of it, but a lot of fun was had yesterday in the last call. Be sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel. Join the House of Reprehensibles, and you too can enjoy in all of the fun that we have on the Sportsocracy. Now, of course, the first hour of the program always brought to you by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Don't forget to get your tickets now for this weekend's Asheville Championship at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. We've got 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Sunday. We will have all of the coverage for the Asheville Championship action here for you on ESPN Asheville, but you can get your tickets at local Ingles supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. We've been talking football all day long. We've been deep diving on the rest of the NFL season, and so we are going to focus today's show on the bold predictions for the rest of the year in the NFL, playoff picks, Super Bowl champions, all of that coming your way over the next 2 hours, plus the latest news and views from around the sports world.
If you watch our YouTube show, you know we did this at the beginning of the season. We went through, it's a complete blind draw. You just go through the schedule. You don't even think about it. Who's going to win this game?
Yep.
Highlight it, go through, and this is what you get. And at the end of it, at the end of the show, we will tell you who we have in the playoffs. We will tell you records, division winners, all those things. And I'll be honest with you, as you do this, you realize something going through like, wait a minute. They haven't won. Team X has not won a game in what feels like forever.
Right.
Then you get to the end and go, oh boy, the Minnesota Vikings go 4-13. Yikes. Then you go back and try to find a win, and well, there's just not one there.
There just aren't many out there.
That poor team can't get after the quarterback, and they're getting ready to play a lot of good ones.
Well, spoiler alert, I did what I didn't think I was going to do, and I went ahead and made it happen. History will be made in the NFL this year, as we will have an 0-17 team. I didn't give the Detroit Lions one single win.
I did give them a win. They have a win for me.
They have a win?
But it's only one.
Was that the Atlanta game or something?
No, they beat Minnesota, actually.
Minnesota. Okay.
In Detroit.
Wow. You just don't think much of the Minnesota Vikings at all.
It's not that. It's that I think it's going to come off the rails. Because I don't think that team's well coached. I just don't. I've said this time and time again. They're not very good right now, and Kirk Cousins has been practically perfect.
Right.
So when that comes off the rails, and I think it will, what does that leave? A really bad team.
Right.
First big sweeping declaration of this here bold prediction NFL show. The Green Bay Packers will be the first team to win their division, and they'll have it clinched in about 3 weeks. I have them winning that division by 8 full games.
By 8 games?
By 8 games.
I mean, I got them winning it by 7. So we're not too far off.
When I got to the end of this, I went, good. I had to work backwards to figure out when that means they would clinch this division.
Right.
It's the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh, my goodness.
They will have that division clinched by the end of this month. Because that division is just absolutely terrible.
There ain't no doubt about it. You know, I think that is the widest spread that I have in any of the divisions.
I have 2 that are quite large. Your division and this one.
Yeah.
The NFC South and the NFC North are the 2.
And I boo-boo kiddied. I did. I boo-boo kiddied on a couple of these things because I don't have Tampa Bay winning the division by as much as they should.
Oh, I have them winning it by a lot.
It's only a 4-game spread between them and the New Orleans Saints.
That's a team we disagree on vehemently. Unfortunately, there is a team in our home market here that we don't disagree on at all. Because neither one of us have the Carolina Panthers as very good.
No. There's not a whole lot to this team. Unfortunately, the Sam Darnold thing hasn't worked out. And our good friend Ian Hartitz on Twitter posted out the video of before the Cowboys game of him talking about Sam Darnold and how the Carolina Panthers have just found their best franchise quarterback of all time. He's going to be, he's accurate. He's got all of these things. Like, wow, that did not age well.
That aged poorly. That aged like milk.
Old Terry Bradshaw. Everybody had a lot of high hopes for Sam Darnold. We thought that it started out looking really good. And then it just came off the rails. Injuries happen and CMC goes down and the offensive line just gets worse and worse and worse every week. And now you're left with this kind of a shell of a team.
That now is starting P.J. Walker.
Right. You got Sam Darnold with the shoulder fracture, the incomplete shoulder fracture.
Couldn't even complete that.
Couldn't even do that.
It's a layup. You can't say that and then not finish it that way.
Right. So he's got the shoulder fracture, going to be out for a couple of weeks at least, I imagine. P.J. Walker is going to now be the starter. They've signed Matt Barkley to be the backup.
And here's the poor timing of this. In my opinion, they only have 3 more winnable games on the schedule.
Okay.
They're in the next 4 weeks. With P.J. Walker, you're not winning any of them. Point blank, P.J. Walker's not an NFL quarterback.
Right.
So you go into this, with the Washington football team at the Dolphins and the Falcons. Well, the Falcons are just going to outscore you. If you have P.J. Walker this long, you're just going to get outscored.
Right.
Outscored?
No,
outscored.
not outscored.
Outscored.
Yeah.
Outscored.
Outscorned would be
Outscorned
you
would
take
be what?
way too much verbal abuse from your significant other.
Well,
I've been outscorned.
Outscorned. But I mean, it's bad timing for the and it depends on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Carolina, here's the bright rosy side of it. You may not win another game all year, but you're going to pick pretty high in a draft that does have a lot of talent. Now, here's the
problem: is you need offensive line help, and
well, they could be up there for that. There's three
that's
guys.
True. There are some decent tackles.
We got Evan Neal
stuff.
from Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
Charles Cross from Ole Miss or Mississippi State. Excuse me,
Mississippi State.
There are guys up there, and if they could get a left tackle, I think you would actually give Sam Darnold a puncher's shot at being something.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw plenty of little amateur scouts going, "Look, Darnold's interceptions were in a clean pocket." Yeah, that's fine. It hadn't been a clean pocket so many times that he got happy feet. That's a term for a reason. I don't think this team's as far away as a lot of people do. They have a lot of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the year, you're going to look back on this and just go, man, what a lost year.
Yeah. We thought that this could be a playoff contending team, and it just hasn't turned out to be.
They're not. And the back end of the schedule, they have the hardest last month of the season of any team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Bucs twice, you play at the Bills, and you have to play at the Saints.
But, I mean, are we really ready? Are we really ready to say that the Carolina Panthers should just give up on playoff hopes this year and
well, you're not a playoff team.
Just look at maybe next year's the year?
Well, I mean, and see, this is where I look at things differently. If I'm Carolina, I'm looking at, and I broke it all down.
Mm-hmm.
They finish 11th in the NFC for me. I don't see a way you're finishing better than 9th. Not with Darnold on the shelf for 4 weeks, which is what I'm hearing it is, 2 to 4 weeks.
Right.
Lean on the high side. With P.J. Walker, you're going to lose 2 of the 3 games that were 2 of the 3 winnable games that you had left on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the worst thing in the world. I say this often. If you're going to be bad, be bad. Don't be mediocre. Don't be 8-9, 9-8.
Right.
Well, we just missed the playoffs, but we played real hard. That's the worst thing you can be, in my opinion.
Right.
So for the Panthers, you have a lot of building blocks. There's a lot of things to be encouraged by. I still believe greatly in Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe greatly in Joe Brady. Problem is that you have a quarterback that is very Baker Mayfield-esque. He's going to be as good as the pieces you put around him. The receivers haven't been good. McCaffrey's been hurt, and the line's been terrible.
Yeah. The problem is you're not going to have Joe Brady probably. He's probably going to move on. He'll probably get another job because I think regardless of how this team finishes out the season, he's still a hot coaching candidate.
I'm not sure of that.
Really?
No, the inability to modify your game plan with Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the NFL figured him out in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's really damning for a head coaching candidate. I'll be honest with you, this is going to be an insane coaching hiring cycle because I don't know who's going to get jobs. Brian Daboll, that's the one that I feel really sure of.
Right.
Outside of that, there's not a lot of no-doubter candidates.
I think this is finally the year that Eric Bieniemy will get a job.
I don't.
I don't think he's taking himself out of it.
I don't even think you'll get a call.
Really?
He has been horrid as the offensive coordinator of this team because there's no second gear. There's no, hey, you stop us from going deep. Well, look, we'll just attack the intermediate. No, it's just fire. Let's go. Oh, it didn't work. Let's go again.
But is that the limitation of his quarterback? Is that the limitation that Patrick Mahomes has?
Well, and I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
I'm not in that locker room. But here's what I will tell you. In NFL circles, it won't matter.
Yeah.
It won't matter. Now, if Kansas City finds a way to hit another gear and that offense gets back to looking the way it's supposed to, then we can talk. But as of now, no.
In my scenario, in my prognostication scenario, they do get back on on track somewhat. I don't know that they'll turn back into the team that's going to, score 35 to 40 points a week.
Well, they don't get that much back on track for you because they don't make the playoffs.
No, but they were the first team out. They had to lose a tiebreaker with 2 other teams to get back in. I don't have them just listlessly going through the rest of this season. I think they will find another gear, and they'll make it competitive down to the end. Kansas City, to me, is a team that you cannot count out because of the great coaching that they have. At some point, you think they're going to figure it out.
Well, you would think that, but they're not.
Yeah.
Now, I will say they are one of the finalists for Odell Beckham Jr., and
which could make an impact.
That's the only team I think he really has an impact on. Mm-hmm. He would help in Green Bay, just being a reliable second receiver to Devontae Adams.
I just can't see Green Bay doing that.
Well, they're one of the 3 finalists. Allegedly, there are 6 teams involved, but Odell has trimmed this to 3. New England is allegedly still in, so is Seattle.
So we know that these are teams that are interested in him, or are these teams that he's interested in?
From what the reports are, these are teams that there is mutual interest between Odell Beckham Jr. and the team.
Okay.
And it is the Chiefs, the Packers. I'm forgetting one. Those are the 2.
Saints.
Saints.
Yeah.
I think the first 2 are the finalists. We knew the Saints had interest. I don't think he's going to have interest in them.
Because he wants to go to a winner.
And it's not even that. He's got to rebuild his value. He has to go somewhere that he is going to look really good to get that next contract.
Right, and he's not going to be able to do that with Taysom Hill.
No, or Trevor Siemian.
Right.
See, to me, I'm looking at it going, okay, he's choosing between Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. There is probably no future in Green Bay. There could be a future in Kansas City. It would just be a very cheap one.
Yeah.
But if he comes in and runs that Sammy Watkins role, I could absolutely see that being something, because they miss that. Mm-hmm. They miss having that guy like Sammy Watkins, because DeMarcus Robinson is not that. Mecole Hardman is not that. Byron Pringle is not that.
Right.
They have a bunch of track guys.
Yeah, right now you have field stretchers and you have Travis Kelce as the only threat in the middle. So what can defenses do? Just blanket the middle for Travis Kelce. Make sure that he doesn't hurt you too bad. He's always going to get his, and try to keep Kansas City from going over the top.
Well, without going too football nerdy, having a good route runner, which Odell Beckham is still a good route runner, and a term that you love to use that I absolutely hate, he's a willing blocker.
Right.
The thing about having that in a system like Kansas City's is now you can't just nest on Travis Kelce. Because if you do, there can be rubs, there can be screens, there can be all kinds of things that break Odell loose. Or he does it and breaks Travis Kelce loose. That is an element to this. I haven't talked to anybody with Kansas City. I would say Kansas City is currently in a place going, what do we have to do? Pay more? Do we have to pay more? What do we have to do to get you in here?
Yeah.
Because he very easily could change things with that offense. And he knows that. That's why they're one of the finalists here, because he looks at Pat Mahomes and goes, "That's still one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL."
We're going to be talking rest of the season projections for the NFL throughout the program here today. Do want to go ahead and put this little bug in your ear, though. I mean, if you're not doing anything on Friday night, obviously, if you've already got plans to go down to the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, go to the Asheville Championships, that's a great idea. But we're going to have tickets to give away for you to go to Charlotte to see the return of Kemba Walker and the New York Knicks. I have tickets in my possession, and that we are going to give away to you, our lovely listeners and viewers here in the Sportsocracy. Those just came into my inbox today, so we will have tickets to give away for you as well. We're hoping to have a Hornets guest on the show tomorrow as well. Not sure what that's going to look like, but we do have 2 tickets to the Friday night game in Charlotte at the Spectrum Center. It's a big weekend at the Spectrum Center, as they are going to have the New York Knicks in town on Friday, and they're going to have the Golden State Warriors in town. Unfortunately, ticket sales went pretty good for Steph Curry's return to Charlotte.
Of course they did.
So we don't have tickets to give away to that game, but there are still tickets available. Very limited supply, though. So if you're interested, you can go to Hornets.com and you can get tickets for the Golden State game, but we will have 2 tickets to give away. I think we're going to do that tomorrow. We'll come up with some nice, some cool little game contest that we can play.
Oh, I can already tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be some kind of comment contest. Something of like comment of the day on YouTube or on something on our Facebook or something like that.
Okay. I like it. Anyway, we will have 2 tickets to the Hornets and the Knicks game on Friday night to give away coming up tomorrow. So just stay tuned. We'll give you the details on that right here in the Sportsocracy.
See, one of the reasons that we do so many of these comment things is because we very much want your interaction.
Yes.
But with there only being 2 of us, it's very hard for one of us to answer the phone without knowing that it's going to ring. Because if he, being the one that's beside the phone, has to answer it, well, then I just have to sit here and talk to myself until whoever's on the other end of that line tells them what they want to tell him.
Right.
We figure out what we're going to do with that, and then he comes back.
Right. We are very, very limited in that capability.
Well, we don't have, somebody pushing buttons. We do all of these things ourselves. So it's not that we don't want your opinions. We absolutely want your opinions, and that's why we're doing this. Because if you watch on the live online stream, you will see that there is a little war room right here in front of Jeremy, and I can respond to you in live time. And now I even have a little mute button so you can't hear me typing.
Or cough.
Yeah, I did that a lot one day last week.
Yeah, you did.
It's very dry in here.
It is. It's
hot, and there's electronics. And
more bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, midweek has featured some beautiful weather here all across the Carolinas and the southeast. Could you believe those 70s we had again today? 47 degrees our low tonight. Do see a front approach tomorrow with some rain showers, cooler numbers, high 60, low 42. And that'll set the table for much cooler numbers this weekend, kind of breezy and cooler Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 40s and 50s, lows in the 20s and 30s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
I'm Colleen Wolfe from Thursday Night Football and Good Morning Football Weekend.
And I'm Ricky Hollywood from Around the NFL and the broadcast.
On our new podcast, Split Ends, Ricky and I will be coming to you every week to talk about all the important and unimportant storylines in the football world.
Join us for the stories on and off the field that matter. We'll break down games, news stories, tweets, interviews, whatever it takes to cover the ins and outs of the NFL world.
Listen to Split Ends on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Joint pain relief doesn't have to mean drugs and surgery. Now there's a better alternative that patients are raving about. Hey, this is for my friends at QC Kinetics, local medical professionals using natural biologic treatments, highly concentrated healing properties from your own body put directly into the affected joint, restoring and repairing damaged tissue the way your body was designed to heal. If you're tired of the Band-Aid solutions like drugs and steroids, and you really want to avoid surgery, you need to check out QC Kinetics. Regenerative, restorative, natural treatments for knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain in your hips. Don't continue to suffer, and don't go in for surgery until you check this out. See if you're a candidate. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. Surgical pain relief with lasting results. 828-333-9517.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
The Sportsocracy.
These are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Yes, subscribe on the sportsocracy.com. Just click on the live video of each and every episode here. You can hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Join the House of Reprehensibles, the membership group. You can, there are so many ways that you can get involved with the program here, and YouTube just the best way that you can instantly get your comments seen by us and repeated on this here show.
It's live interaction at its finest.
I absolutely love it, and we have a lot of fun in the chat section as well. We got all the comments from the guys today of Stephen Tao, the Baltimore Ravens fan, really glad that he showed up in time for the Kansas City Chiefs hatred.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. The Odell thing's got my gears running though. Of why is it that he would want to go there? Because that's where he feels like he can best rebuild his value.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, are you just humoring them because they were the one team that actually was interested in you before you were waived? Because that makes no sense to me. Seattle doesn't make any sense to me. New England doesn't really make any sense to me.
Odell not only wants to go to a place where he can compete and be on a competitive team, but doesn't he also want to go to a place where he would be the guy?
Oh, he doesn't have to be the guy. He has to rebuild his value. Right now, and I talked about this on Twitter last night. If this was free agency, all right, and this was the first day of free agency, what would Odell Beckham actually get on the open market?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the best I can tell, it's about $5 million a year.
Okay.
He wants to rebuild that value to get that next big payday. And he could do that, depending on the team that he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Chiefs have all of a sudden become one of those teams. Basically looks at it and goes, if I'm thrown to by Pat Mahomes and all of a sudden the offense starts working better with me there, who's going to get the credit for it?
It'll be me.
I was the one thing that changed.
Right.
So why would I not do that? Green Bay Packers. I'm thrown to by Aaron Rodgers and have Devontae Adams on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Lazard has looked like a high-end NFL receiver at times.
Right.
What do you think Odell Beckham would look like on the other side of that? And I don't even think he's nearly as good as he's been advertised to be.
I don't know that I completely blame all of. I don't know, but the Packers are good without him, and that's why I don't think the Packers would be all that interested.
Well, they're certainly interested. There's no doubt about that.
I know that, but I'm saying if you're gauging everybody's interest here, I would think that Green Bay would not be the highest on that list.
Well, this is a minimum level deal no matter what.
Right.
He's getting the vet minimum for the rest of this year. Green Bay needs another receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And Odell's the best one on the market by a considerable amount.
Okay. All right.
So that's where their interest comes from. Now it's a question of where does he want to go? There was more interest in him than I thought there would be. So I thought the interest would be limited at best, but apparently there's still 6 teams involved.
Well, see, when you don't have to pay him that much, then he becomes more of a palatable thing. You can bring him in onto your team, and if it doesn't work, just cut your losses and go down the road. We haven't spent $7 million on him like we would have if we'd claimed him off of waivers. The waiver interest was always going to be limited at best. Now that he's a free agent, depends on the price you can get him for. If you can get him for a deal, he could help many teams in the NFL. Only thing is, he only wants to go to a contender. And I would say that the Saints are out on that. I mean, I have the Saints making the playoffs in my predictions, but we all know what my predictions are worth. I mean, even though I am leading the pick'em contest right now, but it's
a marathon, not a sprint.
Anyhow, so you think Odell's gonna? What you think he'll go to the Chiefs?
That's the sense I'm getting, is that it's going to end up being Kansas City. It's solely because I was long told there was a third team that we were not talking about, because we knew Green Bay and we knew New Orleans from pretty early on, and Seattle. Well, that third team I've been hearing about it's Kansas City.
Well, get ready, Kansas City, for the Odell Beckham Jr. Drama Fest.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
All right, so there should have been no surprises to you last night when the college football playoff ranking came out. It was exactly as we told you it was going to be. Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Oregon 3, Ohio State 4.
We actually got the top 8 right. On the nose, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Cincinnati at 5, Michigan at 7, Michigan at 6, Michigan State at 7. Were you shocked by that? Were you shocked that Michigan was ahead of Michigan State?
No. Because now they each have a loss, and Michigan's loss is way better than Michigan State's.
Right.
I don't care that it was 2U.
Right. The reason I bring this up is because somebody went through and they ran the formula for the BCS.
Oh, good gracious.
What it would look like if we still went by the BCS formula for games.
First of all, thank God that we don't, because that was a dumb thing that we did for entirely too long.
Well, obviously, undefeated Georgia, number 1. They'd be number 1 in the BCS poll as well. Everybody freaking out that, oh, you can't have Alabama at 2. Well, if we were under the BCS system, guess where they would be? They would be right there at number 2. And then it gets interesting after that. The BCS would have had who at 3? Cincinnati. And
being undefeated, it was way too weighted under the BCS formula.
Yep. And number 4? It's the Oklahoma Sooners.
I should have known that.
The Oklahoma Sooners, who still are not in the top 8 in the college football playoff poll. You'd have Ohio State at 5, Notre Dame at 6, and then Michigan and Michigan State rounding out the top 8. But the top 4 under the BCS formula would give Cincinnati their due and Oklahoma their due. Although you would also have UT, you'd also have UT San Antonio at 15, which is just ridiculous to me.
They're 22 in the actual poll.
I know.
That's fine. As long as you're not in the top 5, I really don't care.
Right.
You put UT San Antonio at 7 for all I care. I could really care less. As long as they don't get into the things that matter, it doesn't matter.
Well, they're not going to.
No.
But they're the other undefeated team that would be. See, that's the thing. Is like, I don't care that you're undefeated. I care who you beat when you're undefeated. What was it we saw the other day? There was somebody put the stat out that if the average team in the FBS went through Cincinnati's schedule, they'd have like a 26% chance, 27% chance of going undefeated. Let's just show you how weak that schedule is. To me, that matters,
brutal.
and that's why Cincinnati's not in it. And still, we have all of these people that are all up in arms because Cincinnati's not in the top 4. They're just not a top 4 team, guys.
No.
And I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it to people. To say, yeah,
but they're going to end up there.
They're not going to.
They're going to end up there. I'm just telling you. They're telling you everything you need to know. If you want to put your fingers in your ears and act like it's not going to happen, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I said a 2-loss Alabama would make the playoff,
yep,
I'm not as sure of that as I was looking at this.
What,
if you had kept
Cincinnati
and Oklahoma, just keep them at bay. The Big Ten's going to sort itself out. Whoever wins that conference is getting in.
Mm-hmm.
If Oregon wins the Pac-10 or Pac-12, I hate that we changed the stupid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
At least the Big Ten stayed with what I already knew, in spite of the fact they don't have 10 members.
Right.
I don't really see how they're not going to get in. And then that 4th spot becomes really interesting. Because the 4th spot's either going to be Alabama or it's going to be Oklahoma or Cincinnati. I would honestly say Cincinnati's more worried about Oklahoma than they are anybody.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure that Cincinnati hadn't played a better schedule than Oklahoma to this point.
I was getting ready to say
Oklahoma has played nobody.
Yeah, I was going to say, but Oklahoma, if they run the table,
they won't.
Well, they might. And if they do, they will have played the toughest schedule over the remainder of the season than anybody else in college football. So
if they run out, they get in.
Yeah.
But they're not going to. Speaking of teams that are not going to do things,
yeah,
Middle Tennessee has given the old Lee Corso not so fast, my friend, to the MAC. Last week we reported that Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky would be leaving Conference USA to join the MAC.
Yeah.
Well, Middle Tennessee went, yeah, about that. We're just kidding.
We're just joshing.
And their reasoning for that was, and I'm not making this up, the recent additions of Jacksonville State, Liberty, New Mexico State, and Sam Houston State helped stabilize the league. That is athletic director speak for, we realized that there wasn't actually more money anywhere else.
Right.
So we're just going to sit right here.
It's kind of a lateral move.
I thought it was a backwards move the entire time. That's why it didn't make any sense to me. But apparently Western Kentucky is still... Can we just, everybody just pick your dance partner and, we don't have to talk about these things anymore. Just tell us where you're going to go, and we can mentally get prepared for that.
How much longer does this last, though? I mean, what?
You got another year of this. Easy.
I was going to say.
Easy.
Yeah.
The question is, does anybody of any real relevance move? Because so far, really, outside of the additions to the Big 10, Big 12. Outside of the additions to the Big 12.
Yes.
There really haven't been... I mean, yeah, you got Texas and Oklahoma. Those were the originals. But since then, it's really been a lot of, hey, Western Kentucky's going to play in the MAC now. Tremendous.
Yeah.
Speaking of the MAC, we have MACtion tonight.
Do we? Coming up in Green on Green? You got some MAC football games for us to pick?
There is very little in this life that I love more than MAC football games.
Speaking of, how did you do on your picks last night?
Minus Kansas. Kansas is really good.
Yeah, they are.
That's the only one I missed. But Kansas,
what?
They dominated Michigan State in the second half.
And
do you remember yesterday when I said if you took the Virginia name off the jerseys and put Clemson on it, they would be in the 70s?
Yep.
Yeah, they lost to Navy last night by a pretty considerable amount. It wasn't like a buzzer beater. They lost by 10. The first win against a top 25 team for Navy since the 1 year before I was born, March 16th, 1986. That is the last time that Navy beat a team in the top 25.
Really?
And the stalwart of that team was Mr. Admiral himself, David Robinson.
I was glad to see that Clemson was able to pull out the win against Presbyterian. They were trailing by 8 in the second half. And I went, there's no way that this could happen. This would be the ultimate insult to the Clemson Tigers athletics department for their football team just to be, mediocre after being so great. And then to open the season with a loss to Presbyterian. But no, they were able to turn it around in the second half.
Oh, you mean like Georgia Tech losing to Miami of Ohio?
Well, there was that.
Sorry, Georgia Tech.
There was that.
Pittsburgh losing to the Citadel.
Yep, I was getting ready
Last
to get there.
night did not go really well for the ACC. Hey, Carolina got a win, and Duke is real good, much like I told you yesterday. Other than that, last night did not go well.
But the Carolina Tar Heels, they come up with the win over Loyola, Maryland. You heard it right here on ESPN Asheville. And I felt pretty decent about what I saw on the floor last night from the Tar Heels. I get it was limited, it was limited competition.
Now, Brady Manick, just go ahead and catch you some mullet fever because that kid's real good.
He does. He's got a pretty sweet shot, and he's got some decent inside moves as well.
I was more fixated on the mullet.
I know you were. Paolo Banchero having to leave the game against Duke, and then the other kid, Keels, I think is his name,
Keels is
took over in the second half. Kind of went on a scoring run all by himself. That's going to be a terrifying team to face.
Yeah, well, I got news for you. If you're a college basketball fan, the countdown to Duke, Carolina has begun because those are going to be two really fun games this year.
Oh, no doubt. And sorry about your luck if you wanted to go to one of those games.
Are they already sold out?
I'm sure they are.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody did pay $1 million in a charity auction to get 2 tickets to the last game at Cameron Indoor for Coach K's sign-off year. Yeah, I got a pretty good feeling that those games have sold out.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, well.
But college basketball season is here, and you can see some D1 teams in action at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, Friday night and Sunday evening. And you can get your tickets at local Ingles supermarkets for the Asheville Championship. You got South Carolina, Minnesota, Western Kentucky, and Princeton coming into town for the inaugural Asheville Championship. Brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets and, of course, Wicked Weed Brewing, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. We're making bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season. You want to give the let's give them the snapshot of the AFC.
I can't do it by conference. It's all on one screen.
It's all on one screen?
Yeah, they're all together, so I can't do that. That's not how graphics work. I can't just go, hey, here's I cut it diagonally like a sandwich that I was giving to a child.
That's fine. We don't have the entire audience on the YouTube stream just yet. You should be, but
on the bright side, I can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll start with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Only because it's the one up there because I accidentally hit X on yours.
Yeah. So in the AFC, the division winners, do we have any disagreements on the division winners between the two of us?
No.
We got the Buffalo Bills in the East, the Baltimore Ravens in the North, Tennessee Titans in the South, and the Los Angeles Chargers winning the West.
We are in complete agreement there.
And the wild card teams for the AFC. Mine ended up being the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Indianapolis Colts. After this morning, we were just talking about the Colts, and I was like, is this when do you just give up? Do you just bench Carson Wentz because you're not in the playoff hunt anymore?
Which makes absolutely no sense. Have you come around to the fact that makes no sense whatsoever?
What, for the Colts to tap out?
In the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I do not. I do not have the Colts in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I have come around to there's a shot. It might be a limited shot. You might have to win some games that people don't expect you to win. But I still feel like this is an okay team.
They're fine. I mean, and I didn't have them tremendously behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I had them at 10-7 and didn't have them in the playoffs. The difference between the AFC and the NFC for me is fun.
Right.
Because 10-7 misses the playoffs in the AFC, and a 7-10 team made it in the NFC for me.
Oh, my gosh. No, I ended up with Pittsburgh was my 10-7 team. And then I had the New England Patriots, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Kansas City Chiefs in a three-way 9-8 tie. Just the tiebreakers went the way of the other two teams, and Kansas City ends up on the outside looking in. Now, should that offense turn things around and get Odell Beckham Jr., maybe that changes a little bit. But I do feel like this is a team that is always – they're going to be competitive. They're not going to go out and get shelled in the Chiefs. So they're going to be in the picture at the end of the season.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You and I both have the Chiefs at 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what we both have in common? We don't have them in the playoffs.
Right.
Now, you have the Patriots in the playoffs, which is mind-boggling to me. I will never understand what the monster under the bed with New England is because I've looked at this schedule going, okay, let me try to see this from Billy Boy colored glasses and see if I can find a way to get them in the playoffs. And do you know what the resolve is? I still can't.
You still can't
can't. I can't figure out what it is that you're seeing. I have them tied with the Jets at 8-9.
I think they can beat Cleveland this week at home.
I don't.
I think they can beat the Falcons.
I haven't beaten the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the Jaguars and the Dolphins.
I have them beating the Jaguars and the Dolphins. That is their 3 remaining wins.
That's 4 wins. You get 4 wins over the stretch of this season. 9-8 gets you into the playoffs.
Not for me, it doesn't.
They're already at 5-4.
Not for me, it doesn't. For me, 10-7 in the AFC. In the NFC, they would be a stalwart team in the NFC.
So who are your wild card teams?
My wild card teams, I have the Las Vegas Raiders, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. My matchups, I would sign up for mine right now. Because in the wild card round of the playoffs, you would get the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. That would be a whole lot of fun. The Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. That would be a lot of scoring. and the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, no, you know what? I just realized something. I screwed mine up.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Simple practice. Just give him his workbook and see if he can figure it out, and he still didn't do it right.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I handed you the sheet, and you still didn't correct me.
Look, I am when I'm on this side of the computer, I am nothing more than data input.
Because I was looking at that screen, going, "The Cincinnati Bengals. How did I not have the Cincinnati Bengals in the play?" Oh wait, I did. I had Cincinnati finishing the season 11-6.
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would have made the playoffs.
So they would have made the playoffs.
This whole thing is you were wrong because mathing's hard.
Well, no, it's just they got lost in the shuffle here because I did not realize that in the current standings, which is the sheet that I was working off of, they're in their last team listed in the AFC North. So I just kind of glanced over it. But no, so at that point, then that would knock the Patriots out of the playoffs.
Bye, Bill.
Bye, Bill. Sorry about that. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry to get your hopes up, but, I would continuing a long-standing tradition of Bill Belichick not in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I would have 3 teams from the AFC North in. So I would have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, and, of course, the division champion, the Baltimore Ravens.
I have every team from the North End that's not the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They're the first team out. I have every team in that division finishing with double-digit wins.
Right.
That is my bold prediction for the second half of the season. Every team in that division is going to have 10 wins or more.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a good division. I went through this whole thing just going, every time I put a win in one for one, I put a loss in for the other, and then I flip them the next week.
Yep.
That is going to be the most competitive division in football.
Agreed.
Which is a complete opposite of the NFC North and the NFC South, because those will be the least competitive divisions in the history of creation.
Right. So, yeah, I do have the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. The one team, or one of the teams that you have in the playoffs that I don't, it's the Raiders.
And
I still just can't get down with the
Raider slander for. You've been slandering the Raiders forever.
Yeah.
At this point, you're not allowed on the bandwagon.
I don't want to be on the bandwagon.
We have your picture. It's on the door. If you show up with your little hat and your little pennant, we are not allowing you on the bandwagon.
The Raiders at 8-9 did not make the playoffs for me.
They did for me.
Yeah, I cannot believe in this team.
And the bad thing, the thing that I took away from mine just looking at the AFC, I went, I'm a homer for the Jets. I have them winning too many games. And then I went back and realized I don't have them beating any team for the rest of the season that's not in the bottom 8.
Where did you have the Jets?
They're 8-9.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at their schedule.
That's awful.
Do you realize they play every one of the 6 worst teams in the NFL except the Detroit Lions?
I do not care. I do not care.
It is brutal how bad their schedule is.
Mm-hmm. To get to 6 wins, or to get to 8 wins.
Oh, I can tell you because I have it pulled up on my screen right now. Yeah, you know who they beat to get there?
Who?
The Dolphins, the Texans, the Saints, who don't have a quarterback, the Dolphins, the Jaguars. Oh, now I can't make fun of you because I messed it up too.
Yeah.
I just realized I mathed wrong.
Uh-huh.
They're 7-10.
They're 7-10.
Yeah, they're 7-10.
I got them at 5-12.
Which one of the teams that I just said do you think they're going to lose to?
The Saints.
That's a team that you and I are just vehemently, and we'll talk about the NFC in the second hour.
Yeah.
We are vehemently different about the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Saints are terrible. I mean, terrible.
I still think this is a team that week in and week out they can beat the worst teams.
Well, the problem is that they don't play many of those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all well and good that you could beat the worst teams. You don't play any of them. The worst team left on their schedule is the Panthers. Or the Jets, however you see it.
And the Dolphins and the Falcons and the Jets.
Well, they just lost to the Falcons at home. So, sorry that I don't think that's just a layup. I don't think any of these games are layups for the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're layups either. Games.
I don't think they're layups either. But, I mean, those 4 games, to me, I think you could very well win all 4 of those games, and that's a 9-win season.
Still not, well, in the NFC, that would probably make the playoffs.
Right.
Because the haves and the have-nots are very separate in that conference.
Very separate in that. All right. We got the Green on Green coming up next. We got Jeremy's picks of the night. Maction in college football. You got some NBA picks?
I do.
You got any college basketball picks?
No.
We had the opening night last night. It just matchups didn't favor you on night 2.
Yeah, night 2 is there aren't many great games. When Florida State Penn is the most intriguing matchup, I think I'm going to pass, but
you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage, and should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
Heard you're buying a car. I brought my calculator.
Dad, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly, instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
Be the one.
Howell, first down and more. Goodbye. Magical play by Sam Howell. And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Light that bell tower blue.
The Heels head to the Steel City to take on Pitt Thursday night. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:30. Right here on your home for Carolina football.
The Tar Heels play here. And this is ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Coffee closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Almost went perfect last night, but I got rock chalk jayhawked. Kansas got me in the Kansas-Michigan State game, but it was a fun night of college basketball. No college basketball picks tonight because all of the games I don't really want to watch. So I have 3 in the NBA and 1 Mac football pick. First one, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a 5-point dog tonight at New Orleans. There is not a team in the NBA that should be a 5-point dog to New Orleans. They are 1-10 and completely listless, and the offense is ugly. Oklahoma City at least plays hard. New Orleans looks like they forgot the season started. They're on last year's schedule where they're not going to play real games till after Christmas. Give me Oklahoma City plus the 5. I'll take them in the money line. I think they win it outright. The Charlotte Hornets are a 4.5-point dog tonight at Memphis. The thing about Charlotte is that they can score. This is a fun, upbeat, they don't just beat you one-way team. I have this number off. It's in Memphis, so I had Memphis as about a 1-point favorite. I think they missed this by a bucket. I'm going to take Charlotte plus the 4.5. I'm not comfortable enough to put them out there in the money line, but I will take them plus the 4.5. My 2022 NBA champion Denver Nuggets are a 3-point dog tonight at home against the Indiana Pacers. Let me say that again. They're a 3-point dog at home tonight against the Indiana Pacers.
But no Nikola.
But they don't have Nikola Jokic. If they had him, they'd be a 15-point favorite. This is a little bit of an overcorrection to me. This team's still long. They still defend well, and they score pretty easily. I would take Denver to the money line. I'm taking them plus the 3. Finally, tonight in Maction, we got Kent State and Central Michigan in a game that you should take the over. It's the over-under is 72.5. There are going to be a bajillion points scored in this game because neither one of these teams can stop anybody. The difference is Central Michigan's offense is better, and they can at least stop you running the ball. Central Michigan's a 2.5-point favorite. That's not nearly enough. I had this as almost a double-digit spread. Give me Central Michigan plus 2.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
Central Michigan. Never thought I'd see the day where you were wagering on Central Michigan.
The Chippewas. It's Maction, baby. When you don't have anything but mediocre NBA games, I mean, the Hornets game will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Them and the Grizzlies, that's two good, fast, young teams.
Yeah,
other than that, there is a lot of boo.
Ja Morant versus LaMelo Ball. It's been a rough West Coast swing for the Hornets. Really need a win. We really need a win with the Knicks coming in on Friday.
Coming back to the Eastern Time Zone helps.
Which, by the way, we've got a couple of tickets to give away for that Knicks game down in Charlotte on Friday night. We'll be doing that tomorrow, so stay tuned to find out how you can win. And real quick, a Monkey Knife Fight, daily fantasy sports props play of the night. Go to monkeyknifefight.com, use the promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, and they will match your initial deposit up to $50 and also give you a $5 free play.
I'm playing the more or less 3X multiplier between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans. I will take more than 22.5 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, less than 22.5 for the injured Brandon Ingram. That will take your $5 buy-in and turn it into a $15 prize.
monkeyknifefight.com, promo code TANK.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, midweek has featured some beautiful weather here all across the Carolinas and the southeast. Could you believe those 70s we had again today? 47 degrees our low tonight. Do see a front approach tomorrow with some rain showers, cooler numbers, high 60, low 42. And that'll set the table for much cooler numbers this weekend, kind of breezy and cooler Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 40s and 50s, lows in the 20s and 30s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Zips Car Wash. Fall weather and cooler temps won't get you down when you've got a free wash in your pocket. For a limited time, wash at any Zips Car Wash location and receive a second wash of the same type for free. Bring on the rain, wind, and snow. Your clean ride is just a zip away. Hurry, offer available for a limited time only.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
I realized that I had depression when everything was going great for me. Professionally, creatively, in my relationship, but I was on the cusp of tears with even the simplest of tasks. It wasn't an event that made me sad, it was just being. Then I found out that over 350 million people around the world are affected by depression. It's time we talk about mental health. Go to iHeartRadio.com/talk for tips on how to start the conversation. This has been brought to you by NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and iHeartMedia.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Developing story from ESPN's Diana Rossini. The Chiefs, Packers, and Saints are the teams. Free agent receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is eyeing as potential landing spots. The former Browns star clearing waivers yesterday. He wants to spend the remainder of this season with a playoff contender. Wherever he winds up, OBJ will be spending a lot of time with his new quarterback, notes Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Montana.
Try to find ways so you can really understand his body movement. Then you also have to see him in practice where he is making decisions, because a lot of these routes, you're making decisions on, do I run, do I stop, in the zone, in the hole, can I read the defense, how well can he do that?
Joe Montana on Greene with Mike Greenberg. The Jets are starting quarterback Mike White Sunday versus Buffalo. Coach Robert Saleh said rookie Zach Wilson's knee injury was a factor in that decision. The Nuggets will be without star Nikola Jokic for tonight's game against the Pacers. The reigning NBA MVP serving a one-game suspension for forcefully pushing Heat power forward Markieff Morris in the back in Monday night's win.
So, you think you know Wrangler jeans? Well, let us introduce you to some exciting new additions to the legacy. Just check out Wrangler.com and discover tons of new styles, all the latest denim trends, and more.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword PAY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's PAY to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy, the Democratic Republic of Sports. Yes, you can get in contact with the program very, very easily. Just check us out on YouTube. We're live streaming each and every show that we do. You can join our little membership group, the House of Reprehensibles. And, of course, that's the way to engage us on social media and possibly get yourself some tickets to an NBA basketball game this Friday night. I got 2 tickets sitting in my inbox right now to give away to one of our lucky listeners as the New York Knicks come back into town to take on the Charlotte Hornets. It is the return to the Spectrum Center of Kemba Walker. Your boy Jokic is going to be out for a game, by the way. I just heard that. He's
that's fine.
Suspended for a game. And he got no Michael Porter Jr. either.
That's fine. I don't care.
For the foreseeable future.
I was shocked.
Oh, come on. I thought you had put all that I thought you had put all that in the distance.
No, he's still injury prone. That's a label that you're not going to shake very easily.
Right.
So, look, the thing about that Nuggets team, they will rally around Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
With him getting suspended for a game, I have a funny feeling that you're going to see the backups basically just beat Indiana senseless tonight.
Okay.
Because they were mad.
Right.
They were big mad.
Right. They will take it out on the next team that they face. It seems to be that's the way that goes.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was wanting to have he wanted to have a chat after Jokic hit Markieff Morris.
Oh yeah, and I love the picture of all of them standing outside the Denver Nuggets locker room.
I will say
this. We were going to have a good old-fashioned street fight, like WWE style. They're in the back. Oh, they're fighting in the back.
Yeah, it did kind of look like a Survivor Series. Right. We have Team Miami Heat and Team Denver Nuggets. I will say this. If I was going to pick a fight with anybody in the NBA, the Miami Heat have 2 of the top 5 that I wouldn't. Udonis Haslem and Jimmy Butler. Top 2, nope. Top 2 of the top 5 that just no sir.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Afraid they'd have you on the reach?
No, just afraid that it wouldn't end well for me.
Right.
That's a tough team.
It is
I like
a very
that
tough
Heat
team. It is a very tough team. We're not able to come up with the win, though, and get you the win on Greene on Greene. I still can't believe you picked against your own team and lost.
I did, aggressively.
We're talking about the rest of the season in the NFL, our prognostications and bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season. And, I mean, were there many surprises for you? If you're just joining us, we went through the same process that we went through at the beginning of the season in the Sportsocracy of just taking every game and just picking them. Just gut reaction, what tells you who's going to win these games. And then we went through and we tallied them up to see where everybody landed. And did you have any surprises at the end where you went, oh, no?
Most of mine were in the NFC. So I'm flashing my prognostication on the screen. Just know that I'm one game high on the Jets because I did mathing wrong. My biggest takeaway is the Saints are 7-10. I have your Buccaneers winning that division by 6 full games.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs go 13-4. The Saints are 7-10. The Falcons, the Panthers are tied 6-11.
Yeah,
and that's not even the biggest discrepancy. That it's literally the third biggest division win in the NFC.
Yeah,
the Cowboys win the NFC East by 7 games over the Eagles, who also make the playoffs at 7-10. Who, buddy? The NFC. There's a divide in the NFC. They're real good. They have, let's see, I have 3 of the 3 best records in the NFL are in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's only 6 teams that are above 500. It's because the bad is just bad.
Yeah, and it's so funny when you go through these because you do this and then you go back up and tally it. You're not even keeping track, and then you go, "Oh no, I did that wrong."
Well, see, I don't do that. I just go, "Oh," and that leads to betting trends for me.
Right.
By the way, if you haven't heard the latest out of Vegas thing, it's a new little trend of teams that don't cover the spread the week before and then go on then they're home the next week.
Mm-hmm.
They're 38-14 this year against the spread.
Wow,
that is a mind-boggling number.
That's going through a rabbit hole, though.
And they've gone perfect 3 times.
Right.
One of them was last week.
Huh.
Team that did not cover the week before, and then they're a home dog the next week. There are 5 teams that apply to that this week, and I will have 4 of them.
Okay.
I will have 4 of them.
Are you going to share what teams those are?
Yeah, Friday. The one I won't is the New Orleans Saints because they apply to that as well.
Yeah.
I won't have them.
Who do they play this week?
I don't care because their quarterback is Taysom Hill or Tristan or Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, who's Tristan?
I don't know.
Tristan Wirfs?
I think I combined both names there. I combined Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill into one person.
I think they're at the Tennessee Titans this week.
Tristan Yemian.
Yeah, they're at the Tennessee Titans this week. I don't think it's going to go their way.
Yeah. By the way, that's the dumbest line of the week. Our gambling segment that we do with Ingles that goes out over the Southeast, I'll give you one guess who my pick for the week is.
Right.
Tennessee Titans minus the 3 against Taysom Hill and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Somehow I ended up with the New Orleans Saints at 10-7.
And I literally, so we didn't see who each other picked.
Mm-hmm.
We just got the standings and I put them on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot for the life of me figure out how you think that the New Orleans Saints are winning 5 more games this year.
Well, I know that I had them winning the Jets, Dolphins, Panthers, and Falcons games going down the stretch of the season.
Okay, you're at 8.
I believe I had them beating the Eagles on the road.
I do not see how that's going to happen. New Orleans, A, outside, B, in Philadelphia, C, it will be cold. I'm going to pass. Because everything I don't like about the Eagles, the Saints do it, and they're not nearly as good at it.
Mm-hmm. I still I have very little faith in the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why I had them going 7-10.
I do too, but they make the playoffs in my little prognostication.
Which is weird. Like, I don't see how you got there. See, and that's the other thing is, like, I went through all of this, and I did the picks, and I ended up with the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. And I went, That just feels gross.
I just didn't do that right.
Right.
It just
feels
good.
gross. Those are my wild cards. Because I do think Russ coming back is going to matter.
Oh, it will certainly matter.
And they'll be able to win some games down the stretch. And, going 6-3 down the stretch may be a little too much.
Yeah, can't figure that one out either. I can't for the life, because they play the Packers this week, and that's going to go badly.
Unless Aaron Rodgers doesn't play.
Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
Oh, I'm sure he will. And
By the way,
I factored that in. I had them losing that game.
By the way, I've had few things in my life that have ever given me the tickle in my funny bone of that CeeDee Lamb got fined more for having his jersey untucked than Aaron Rodgers did for violating the protocols. I just find it funny. Aaron Rodgers is going to get cut. He's not going to be able to. They find him less than they find CeeDee Lamb for having his jersey untucked.
What did they fine him?
$14,000.
That's it.
Him and Alan Lazard. They fined CeeDee Lamb $20,000 for not having his jersey tucked in. And for me, I just sit back and go, well, that's kind of funny to me.
Right.
All of the NFL should cancel Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, they did. Yeah, you see how stupid that sounds when I say it that way?
Can't. You know why? Because he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Well, it doesn't matter. They knew. It's really hard to fine him aggressively for something they knew he was doing.
Well, they fined the team more than that.
They fined the team $300,000.
Yeah, the Packers as a team got fined $300,000, and I've seen the theories that that's not enough. They should have fined them way more than that, and they should have taken draft picks away.
Well, here's the thing.
Are you insane?
Oh, here's the thing. One, they can't find them more. Two, they can't take draft picks away. See, they have this thing. Oh, what's that called? Collective bargaining agreement, where you agreed to all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that. It's adorable that you want them to. That is just swell that you want them to do all these aggressive things. Well, they can't.
Well, so what would be the agreement that keeps them from taking the picks away? Because they've done it in other scenarios.
Yeah, but there are only certain things. They have to be cheating kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Collusion, or not collusion. What's the word I'm looking for? Basically, you have to try to violate the CBA.
Right.
This is an addendum to the CBA that you agreed to. There's absolutely nothing they can do. They kind of made this fine up, if I was being really honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I'm quoting this from somebody else, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. The extent of the fines was supposed to be $250,000. You were not supposed to be able to fine a team more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they fined them $50,000 more for this, and I think Green Bay just kind of went, okay, that's fine.
Well, because at this point, you just want it to go away.
100%.
Right.
Well, and we're done.
Right. And a couple of weeks from now, I don't think nobody's ever gonna. I mean, you'll remember it. You'll remember this being part of the story of the season.
Oh yeah,
but it's not going to have any greater impact, I guess.
Did you see Aaron on Pat McAfee yesterday?
For a second,
I literally love the fact that he used the phrase, "I'm sorry that you were offended." You know what? I'll give you this. There are very few people in this world that I think care less about what people think about them than I do. Aaron Rodgers is now officially one of those people.
Yep. Speaking of the NFC, the Panthers have officially moved Sam Darnold to the IR.
Ooh.
So he's not going to be back for 3 weeks at least, which is trouble because that means it's P.J. Walker time.
And Matt Barkley.
I don't know that he'll see the field. I mean, you're the one talking about how hard it is for a new quarterback to come in and take over an offense.
It depends on the system. Sean Payton's system, borderline impossible.
So Joe Brady's system is easy to understand?
Joe Brady's system is very simplified. There are not a lot of Joe Brady he's a sharp guy.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of Panthers fans that just really.
Well, he's a sharp guy, but his system is simplified. You're going to have to explain that a little bit.
These offensive systems do not have to be that complex. They just don't. I mean, I've always heard Sean McVay's offense is not that complex.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best offensive coach in the league. I always use Mike Leach. Mike Leach, I have been told from people that have seen that playbook that it is overly complicated.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason for this to be as complex as it is. And it is one of the reasons that he's always been Mike Leach. because he's just a kooky guy that likes pirates and he doesn't care.
Right.
You will figure it out. You will do it my way. That's also why he called for an open tryout at Texas or at Mississippi State for anybody that goes to that school that can kick, because he is a kooky Madookie.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Brady, I got a system. It works. They could install enough for Matt Barkley if he needed to come in for some reason.
Yeah. They're expecting Sam Darnold to be gone for at least 4 weeks. So this is P.J. Walker's show now for the next month.
I won't be shocked if Sam Darnold never plays another snap for the Carolina Panthers.
How are they going to do that?
Oh, they can get out of that deal. Oh, don't worry. If they want out of that, they can get out of that.
But I thought they already picked up the option for next year.
That was reported that they did. I never saw that confirmed. I'm sure they did, because the deadline to do it's already passed. So, but even if they did, I mean, it's a 1-year hit. If you want rid of Sam Darnold, you can get rid of Sam Darnold.
Right.
I mean, it's going to cost you.
Fully guaranteed $18.858 million in 2022.
Okay. Doesn't mean he has to play.
That's true, but, are you ready to set that $18.5 million on fire?
Well, the money's irrelevant. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have proven that. The money does not matter. It's a question of, can you do better? The more likely scenario is that they draft a quarterback high that sits behind Sam, and then it becomes really uncomfortable.
Right.
But yes, they did pick up the 5th-year option. I just never saw that confirmed.
Yeah.
That was a weird story out of Charlotte, because they said it, and then it was never confirmed by anyone.
Mm-hmm. No, they did pick it up. It's fully guaranteed for next year. And you're probably right.
And I got news for you. $18 million is not precluding you from doing anything. If they want out of that, they'll get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger thing is that you gave up 3 draft picks. You're not getting out of that. But at the end of the day, if Matt Rule looks at this, because Matt Rule's going to go into next year with an extra layer of pressure that he hasn't seen in the NFL before.
I do think it was worth the gamble. And I know
don't
that
think
sounds
you had
stupid.
A choice.
I know that sounds stupid, knowing the way it ended up. But still, like you just said, what other choice did you have?
Well, that's the thing. What were you going to go into the season with, Teddy Bridgewater?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he's been so good in Denver. Has he, though?
No, he hasn't.
He's been Teddy Bridgewater.
Mm-hmm. Still the same quarterback he was in Carolina last year.
I'll argue that Sam Darnold is actually better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Panthers fans, you were upset last year because he couldn't score touchdowns. Well, guess what? He can't score touchdowns in Denver either. No. So what are you really upset about?
But this is the purgatory that you wind up in. I could argue that the culture is the same thing. The only difference is that team is exponentially better.
This is a black mark on Scott Fitterer. It is a black mark on his track record now. But you know what? He took the swing and he missed. You can't hit home runs on every one of them. And he's hit some pretty good solid doubles. I will say that. He may not have that home run swing yet, because we just haven't seen, we haven't seen enough in the draft picks. But yeah, I think his track record is pretty good so far.
Carolina strikes me as the team that's going to take the swing in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fall in love with somebody, and they're going to take that quarterback too high. Now, here's the thing. I've said a lot of quarterbacks were taken too high that wound up working out.
Yep.
I said Deshaun Watson was drafted too high. And up until his legal problems, that made me look like a dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also argue he never really won anything either. So.
He did get his team to the playoffs several times.
Yay! You know what that in $1 will get you? A Coca-Cola.
It gets you in the playoffs. That's what it gets you. That's the reward. You're in the Sportsocracy. You're on ESPN Asheville. More bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season coming up.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, midweek has featured some beautiful weather here all across the Carolinas and the Southeast. Could you believe those 70s we had again today? 47 degrees our low tonight. Do see a front approach tomorrow with some rain showers, cooler numbers, high 60, low 42. And that'll set the table for much cooler numbers this weekend. Kind of breezy and cooler Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 40s and 50s, lows in the 20s and 30s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 westbound is slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound stop and go between Upward Road and Ozone Drive. 26 on the westbound side, delays between Long Shoals Road and Brevard Road. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound approaching Sand Hill Road, delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In Haywood County near Clyde, US 74 near Old Balsam Road, an accident does have the left lane closed in both directions. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Zips Car Wash. Fall weather and cooler temps won't get you down when you've got a free wash in your pocket. For a limited time, wash at any Zips Car Wash location and receive a second wash of the same type for free. Bring on the rain, wind, and snow. Your clean ride is just a zip away. Hurry, offer available for a limited time only.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146. Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
The original stuffed crust from Pizza Hut is so cheesy you'll want to eat it backwards. But what if we played this song backwards?
One topping, just $12.99.
No one outpizzas the Hut. Ask for a limited time offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for more toppings and extra cheese.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And yes, don't forget the YouTube stream as well. Join us on YouTube for all of our editions of the show here. And you can subscribe to the channel. You join our little House of Reprehensibles group, our membership group, and you can also pay for super chats, which is something that we figured out earlier this week.
We didn't figure it out.
Well, no, one of our helpful patrons did.
Our resident Canadan.
Yeah.
Armchair Commentary does fantastic hockey content, and will be doing it for us very, very soon.
Yes, indeed. Look forward to seeing his work on the ice. We're talking bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season. We got the weird news coming up. I just found I got a good one.
I got a good one. I got a good one that fits me because it's two things that I love, but I'm not going to love them together.
You know me, I'm weird. I'll try anything.
And I'm afraid that you're going to hear this and go, yeah, I would totally do that.
I'm 100% going to do that.
Oh,
we're going to do it live on the air as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
This is going to happen. Just stay tuned for the weird news coming up here in just a few moments here in the Sportsocracy. Anyhow, bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season. Division winners in the NFC. We were not in lockstep on this, I don't think.
I don't know you. Oh, yeah, because you don't have the Cardinals winning the West.
I don't have the Cardinals winning the West.
Which makes zero sense to me.
I
have the Cowboys, Packers, Cardinals, and Bucks winning the divisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wild card teams are the Rams, the Eagles, and the 49ers.
The 49ers. You having the 49ers make the playoffs makes me scratch my head as much as me having the New Orleans Saints make the playoffs makes me scratch my head.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not going to lie to you. I thought the same thing until I looked at the rest of the NFC and went, who else is it supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because here are the teams that don't make the playoffs for me. The New York Giants, the Washington football team, the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Seattle Seahawks. You know what every one of those teams has in common? They're all bad.
Yeah.
Bad, bad. So that means two bad teams are going to make the playoffs in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 49ers are better than the bulk of them, and the Eagles have a markedly easier schedule.
Right.
The Eagles' schedule is disgusting.
Mm-hmm. And despite that, I still didn't have them making the playoffs in the NFC. I got the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Los Angeles Rams winning the NFC West. And then the wild cards end up being the Arizona Cardinals, the New Orleans Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks.
And I just look at Seattle, and Seattle's the one that I'll get slammed on because you're a Seattle hater.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a Seattle schedule hater. Because because here's the problem. This is what people, when they do prognostications like this, you're not thinking about where the team sits.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you haven't had Russell for 3 weeks. You managed to get through that at 1-2. Well, now you're going to the Packers and the Cardinals. When you lose both of those, and you're gonna, now you're sitting at 3-7.
Mm-hmm.
You have to win out to really have a realistic shot of making the playoffs. They're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still have a game with the 49ers, at the Rams, and at the Cardinals again. I could just see I could see a path where this falls apart in an ugly way.
Yeah, I don't believe in the San Francisco 49ers. I just haven't seen anything that makes me believe that they're going to turn it around and start winning a whole bunch of games.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: somebody at the bottom of the side of the NFC is going to get hot and make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing that we universally agree on is the top 5 seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and you and I both agreed on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Cowboys, the Packers, 2 from the West, which will be the Rams and the Cardinals,
Mm-hmm.
and your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's right.
Other than that, there has to be 2 teams that get hot late. Who has the easiest schedule of all those teams? That kind of plays into it. It's the Eagles, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
if you're curious.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at. A lot of people in the chat are asking who are the Lions beating because I do have them winning a game. It's Minnesota at home. They're going to win one of those games. And I think it's funny that you scoff that off when you've been saying that same thing for months.
I have, but now just lean into it.
Oh, yeah. If you've listened to the show for any period of time, you know when Tank has a take and then bails on it, that's when you should get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Who do they play this week? Because they might win this week.
The Lions?
Yeah.
They're not winning a single game.
Oh, they're certainly going to win a game.
I don't think so.
The rate you're going, they might win the division.
I darn sure don't think that they're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is just a team to me that they are going to beat all the bad teams. They are better than all the bad teams. They're going to win. They're going to lose a lot of really close games with the good teams. I got them going 4-5 down the stretch.
All right, so
not good enough to make the playoffs.
Be real honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me who they're going to beat. This week they play at the Chargers. No shot.
Who, Minnesota?
Yeah.
No.
Next week's the Packers.
No.
At the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's comical how little you value where a game is played. That's hilarious to me. Do you know how many games the Vikings have won on the road all year long?
2.
It's 1.
Okay.
They've won a game on the road all year.
Okay.
Ooh,
San Francisco, the team that's really good at home?
No, I'm not saying they're good at home. I'm saying you're taking an indoor team, putting them outdoors, and there is not that big of a difference between those two teams.
California.
I didn't say it was going to be a snowstorm. I'm saying it's not what they're comfortable in.
Right.
Ooh, how many games did they win at home last year? Or how many games did they win on the road last year?
I don't know.
3. There's 3.
Okay.
They're 3-5 on the road.
Okay, so now
This is not a particularly good road team anyway.
So now I got them at what, 2 wins on the season on the road?
Yeah. But then, I mean, you just look at the rest of the schedule. It's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you go at Detroit. All right, give them that. Then you play Pittsburgh at Chicago, the Rams at the Packers, and Chicago again. By the time those 2 Chicago games roll around, it's not going to matter because they're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of just doing precursory math. By the time they play Pittsburgh, they're going to be 4-9. At that point, who cares? Mike Zimmer will have been long fired by then.
So at that point, they just all give up and go home.
And I didn't say that.
Well, I know, but that's the way you make it sound. Of well, at that point, they're 3-9.
How often do you see teams that go that are really bad and it just comes careening off the cliff? You're watching with the Miami Dolphins right now.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're really going to play hard for? I don't even remember his first name. Gary Kubiak's son. Hey, you think they have to win one for the Gipper? Is he really going to fix that god awful defense? No. As I say, you're 4-9. What do you expect? You think Kirk Cousins is coming out with the gusto every week? Mm-hmm. Oh, we just got to really try for the fans. Do we really care? No. You see teams do that all the time. And now that you've said that, I'm going to call it out as it happens because it's going to happen a lot. Seattle.
That what?
Teams that just lay down like an old dog next to the radiator. Oh, we're terrible. And I've been in this league for 10 years, and I'm tired of getting hit in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, let's just find us a nice, soft place to lay down.
You think Russ is just going to curl up and die?
I think things are going to get ugly in Seattle.
They might. They very well could. To me, it would be extremely out of character for Russell Wilson to do that.
I don't disagree.
He is a guy that goes out and he plays to win the game.
I don't dispute any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was out of character for him to request a trade too.
I
got news for you. He did it. Whether he wanted to admit it to you or not, he did it.
You're not wrong.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, we've got our first one of the Christmas season. Yes, the Christmas season has begun. Jeremy, I think it was you that said this the other day, that we have Christmas season began on November the 1st, and it runs until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. You take the 3-day break for Thanksgiving, and then everything there is Christmas season back again until 2 weeks after Christmas?
No, until the day before New Year's.
Until the day
then
before
you get 2
New Year's.
days of New Year's, and now it's the New Year, and now you go back to work, and things are back to normal.
No, the Christmas season still continues after that because you don't have to take your decorations down until at least MLK Day.
Oh, you should. I don't. I took mine down last year at St. Patrick's Day, so I'm probably not one to ask that to.
MLK, that's usually the mark where I go, okay, now we have to get all of this stuff out of here. We've got to take the Christmas tree down. It's already 2 weeks past Christmas.
I just remember calling my Christmas tree my Valentine's Day tree last year.
Yes, I do remember that.
It's festive. I like it.
I do remember that. But, of course, with the holiday season comes all of the holiday traditions. And we all know there is one tradition that is always a mark of the season, and that is the beginning of the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. And we have our first weird donation story of the season. In Quartzsite, Arizona, the employees at the Salvation Army thrift store were very surprised when they got a unique $300 donation that they were not expecting. Somebody left their gold tooth. I mean, I've always said, look, it doesn't matter what you can give. It matters that you can give. And honestly, A gold tooth? I mean, you didn't really need that anyway, and it's going to the poor. And they could turn around and sell that thing for what it's worth. It was 5 grams of gold, which comes out to $300 for the Salvation Army.
They donated a tooth out of their mouth.
Uh-huh.
That is absolutely disgusting.
It is disgusting.
And without a doubt, it is not as disgusting as my story.
There was no word on whether or not there was still blood from the gold tooth that was donated. Hopefully it was, hopefully it just fell out and they washed it and they were like, what do I do with it? Oh, you know what I can do with this? Just give it to the Salvation Army. And they were very, very thankful, and they say, of course, every little bit helps, and we will always accept anything that has a monetary value. Lieutenant Colonel Ivan Wild of the Salvation Army Southwest Divisional, he's the Southwest Divisional Commander, said, quote, "From the bottom of our hearts, we would like to thank the person who left us this wonderful gift. In the past, red kettles across the country have received gold coins, valuable jewelry, and checks of large dollar amounts. But this gold tooth is right up there on the list of the unusual donations that we have received." So see, it doesn't matter what you can give, it just matters that you give.
Well, there's that.
The Red Kettle campaign hopes to raise $175 million in this Christmas season to help needy families around the country.
It should surprise no one that one of my guilty pleasures is a curly fry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely love curly fries.
Oh, yeah.
If a place offers them and you ask me what I want, it will always be curly fries.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And it is unacceptable to bring me a regular fry from a place that has curly fries.
It is the Cadillac of all fries.
Now, who is shocked to find out that I also am a big fan of vodka? Who's surprised?
Nobody.
You shouldn't be. Well, now there is a vodka that has combined the two. Arby's curly fries are beloved by fans, and now their flavor is entering the world of spirits.
Mm-hmm.
The fast food chain Arby's is launching 2 new 80-proof vodkas inspired by its iconic curly fries and newer crinkle-cut variety. It is literally crinkle-cut fry and curly fry vodka.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds absolutely horrible. And if you want me to make it sound worse, the crinkle fry vodka is a subtle tribute to its namesake. This is off the bottle. Made with real kosher salt.
Yeah.
Salt and vodka. That's weird. And sugar to honor the rich tradition of salted potato shapes. The curly fry vodka is distilled with cayenne, paprika, onion, and garlic. I like all of those things. It's when you throw it into an alcoholic beverage that I go, no.
I am in.
Of course
yes.
you are. Why am I surprised?
What's vodka made from?
It's potatoes.
Potatoes.
I understand
potatoes. So why not put potato flavoring on potatoes?
The company has also partnered with celebrity chef Justin Sutherland, you would know him from Top Chef, who created 2 signature Bloody Mary recipes using both Arby's vodkas. They also have other recipes featuring other Arby's menus, such as horsey sauce and Arby's sauce, and include toppers like mozzarella sticks.
Mm-hmm.
This will be available in limited quantities on November 18th, with a second batch available on November the 22nd.
Member of the House of Reprehensibles, Safwan Ben Malik, on the YouTube stream, it says that sounds incredibly disgusting in a drink. You're wrong, sir, because you are forgetting the one drink that will be phenomenal in. A Bloody Mary. A Bloody Mary with crinkle fries, I'm all the way in.
Ron George, a great member of the Sportsocracy who has produced for us, said, as a bartender, please stop.
Yeah.
Oh,
all the way
sounds terrible.
No.
But first of all, Bloody Marys are gross.
You're wrong.
I mean, as somebody that has a true, genuine love of that game, out.
You are as wrong about that as you are about the Seattle Seahawks this year.
I have always wanted, that is one food stuff that I have always really wanted to like.
Bloody Marys?
Yes, but I don't because they look delicious. Mm-hmm. It's a drink with bacon and celery and just all kinds of... I like the accompaniment, but I don't want to drink the beverage. Tomato juice is disgusting.
Wrong.
I love tomato sauce. I love ketchup. I love everything tomato, except tomato juice. I cannot get to that.
Yeah. I'm doing this now. I've got to go find me some Curly Fry vodka.
Well, there's one problem. It is not available in this state. So the vodka is distilled and bottled by Tattersall Distilling Company and is only available to residents aged 21 and older in California, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., Florida, Idaho, Louisiana, Minnesota, Nebraska, Nevada, Oregon, Wyoming, and, of course,
South Carolina.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Man, I miss that state sometimes. I really do.
All right, so we got
anything that was limited edition that was something of this realm always winds up there.
So we got to take a trip to Florida. Ron, since you're watching, are you going to a Bucks game anytime soon? Because I'm gonna need you to bring me back some Arby's Curly Fry vodka.
Oof. And I love Arby's. I read this story. It immediately made me want a big just thing of Arby's curly fries.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, why do you have crinkle fries? Stop that.
Yeah,
who goes to Arby's and goes, no, I don't want the phenomenal, tremendous curly fry that is, you have to use a what are those things called? The spiralizer.
That's what they call it.
That is what it's called.
Is that what they call it?
No
way.
I
I'm going to look that up during the break.
I know that's a thing. I don't know if that's what you make curly fries with. But why? Why would you? Who does that?
Now part of me is afraid to Google spiralizer, thinking it's going to bring up something weird.
Oh, I wish it did. It won't, and I know it won't, but I wish it would.
They're good.
After you made me eat a crawfish yesterday, frankly, you shouldn't trust anything that I tell you to do for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably when that stupid taste is going to get out of my mouth too.
Yeah. Stephen Tao says that sounds like a torture ticket. You have to drink a Bloody Mary. Now we just have to find a drink that I can't stand.
Well, I mean, based on your tolerance, you can't stand more than two of anything. So,
well, this is true.
Ba-da-bum-cha! Yeah.
Ain't no lie. I hear no lies told there. Bold predictions for the rest of the NFL season. We have our playoff picks. The thing I was most shocked about was I went through the rest of the schedule. I don't have another loss for the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't have many.
I got the Dallas Cowboys at 15-2.
I have one. I got them at 14-3.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule is pitiful.
I ended up with three teams. Three teams at 14-3. The Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the LA Rams.
I wound up with,
because I could only I mean, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, your Z-Tank's such a homer." Okay, you look at that schedule. You tell me, other than the Buffalo Bills, who's going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Trust me, I tried to find one.
Right.
I still had them at 13-4.
Right.
And I had you losing a stupid game that, and I don't remember off the top of my head who it was.
Probably Carolina Panthers at the end of the year because we benched everybody.
No, it's not something like that. And that's another thing. We can't take that into account because the way we play the game, we don't know what your record is.
Right. It is what it is.
This was a fun little exercise, though. It's really telling that we are completely in lockstep on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the very bottom, and we couldn't be any more different if we tried.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, though. I mean, obviously, at the end of the year, we'll look at this and we'll get a great kick out of it. You remember how stupid Tank was when he thought that the New Orleans Saints, who ended up being 6-11, was going to make the playoffs? Could be, but there again, all of these wild card teams, it's not going to be fun for them.
And it's not going to be pretty.
No, you're going to get into the playoffs and you're going to get stomped by whoever you end up facing. It's just the reality of the top-heavy NFL that we have. We all know who the best teams are right now, and nothing is going to change that. We did the power rankings this morning, and I can't put the Tennessee Titans as high as you did on the power rankings. Number 2 seems crazy to me because it's a team that doesn't have Derrick Henry, and I think they're going to slip up at some point.
Well,
but then they went into L.A. this past weekend and made the Rams look pedestrian.
Well, here's the thing. I've routinely told you running backs just do not matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's A. B, look at how many good wins they have. They've beaten the best team in the AFC. They've beaten what you could argue is the best team in the NFC, and one of their 2 losses is to the other team that you could argue is the best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
How could you possibly not have them that high?
Right.
Oh, they lost to the Jets. Yeah, and I think their starting 2 receivers were me and Tweeter from Varsity Blues.
Right.
Sorry, you lost to the Jets on the road without a living, breathing receiver.
Mm-hmm. Nick Westbrook-Akina.
I mean, you had nothing. Other than that, you couldn't be better than you have been.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me,
the problem
that wasn't even a hard part.
Right, but the problem is I went through this exercise, and guess what? They're the number 1 team in the AFC for me. They end up 14-3. And guess what? Last couple of weeks of the season, they could have Derrick Henry right back in the fold.
That is one thing we agree on. We both have the Titans as the number 1 team in the AFC.
Yeah. And then they get into the playoffs. Boy, howdy. We could seriously be looking at the Tennessee Titans as the Super Bowl champions.
I think they're going to go in as either the first or second best team in the AFC.
And they keep playing defense this way. If they're able to get after the quarterback like they were against Matt Stafford.
That's the part that I don't think anybody could have seen coming.
No.
Is that that Bud Dupree still hasn't been good, but the rest of that defensive line has been so good that it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And you've had Kevin Byard making some big plays over the last few weeks. I mean, I think he was the one that made the quote-unquote tackle on the Josh Allen slip that got them the win over the Buffalo Bills. And then he had the big one, the big interception over the weekend. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Guess what? It's time for something to chew on. Here's Caleb Peak.
I was gobsmacked when I heard that last night. And then the explanation from the committee chairman, Gary Barta, made even less sense. He said, we looked at it and we concluded Michigan was the better team. No, you must have missed a game if that was your conclusion. I understand that when you play early in the season, like Ohio State and Oregon, things can change 8 weeks later. But nothing has changed. That game was 12 days ago. And of all the preposterous statements that this committee has uttered in 8 years, that may be number 1.
Miracles happen every day. For once in my life, Paul Feinbaum and I are on the same page about something. I'm Caleb Peak. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And look, there are a lot of things that happen on this earth that might seem strange, but they almost always come with a settled-on explanation of some kind. Now, that doesn't make them any less weird to witness. Rivers have been known to run in reverse. Massive tornadoes turn one home into sawdust and warped steel, while leaving the next-door neighbor's home completely untouched. All those videos of UFO sightings, there's a reason why those kids tried to storm Area 51 a couple years ago. We can't get enough of that. But everything happens for a reason. Rivers can run backward for literally dozens of reasons, both natural and man-made. Tornadoes can turn on a dime and totally change direction based on an infinite number of factors. And UFO videos are normally torn apart and debunked within minutes by our friends and neighbors on the internet. But then, last night, the College Football Playoff Committee ranked Michigan higher than Michigan State. And there's no explaining this away. It's like dividing by 0. There's no answer because it shouldn't be able to happen. Yet, here we are. Just to be clear, I'm coming at this from a completely neutral viewpoint. I'm in a studio almost 700 miles away from the Michigan State campus and even further away from Ann Arbor. So I'm hardly a homer for either one of these schools. But I'm also trained in the Bob Woodward style of journalism, which means I'm going to follow the numbers. And all the numbers point toward East Lansing. But you'd never know it listening to CFP Selection Committee Chairman Gary Barta, who defended his team's decision to rank Michigan number 6 and Michigan State number 7 on Tuesday night. Barta told reporters that, quote-unquote, the consensus is that Michigan was probably a more complete team, end quote. And about that, Barta and his selectors 13 are probably right. Throughout 3 quarters in East Lansing, the Wolverines were the better squad, but Michigan State won the war. Mel Tucker and Michigan State knew that with Cade McNamara slinging it out on the other sideline, points were going to be scored. The game would be decided not by out-dueling the gunslinger, but releasing your not-so-secret weapon on the ground. Sparty was smarter down the stretch, keeping the ball on the turf and themselves in the game by just letting Kenneth Walker III be his Heisman contending self. 5 touchdowns on 197 yards. Sure, Michigan is just about as complete as they're going to get in 2021, but the whole point is to put more points on the board than your opponent. and Michigan State did just that against their arch rivals. Now, I also understand that Michigan State was a loser this past Saturday against now number 19 Purdue, who cracks the top 25 for the first time all season this week. But if we're being honest, there's not many programs that could have beaten the Boilermakers last week. When you're hot, you're hot. And senior quarterback Aiden O'Connell was on fire. 3 touchdowns, 536 yards. That's the third most passing yardage and the second most completions by a quarterback in the history of Purdue football. It's the most passing yards by a Purdue quarterback ever in a conference game. The previous record, held by Drew Brees, had stood for 23 years. Needless to say, Aiden O'Connell is your co-offensive player of the week in the Big Ten, and no program in the conference looked better than Purdue. It's not so much the rankings that I have an issue with here. Number 6 and number 7, respectively, Michigan and Michigan State are both 8-1 and still very much in the conversation for the college football playoff. It's the arrogance of the committee that chafes me absolutely raw. Michigan was probably a more complete team, they said. Yet the Wolverines couldn't stop the Spartan ground attack if it were water running through a faucet. This is the equivalent of seeding out a postseason playoff bracket and then handing the trophy to whoever had the best regular season record. It completely defeats the purpose of playing the game. And the committee has all the power to, quote-unquote, give credence to a head-to-head matchup while still totally disregarding the final score. Number 6 versus number 7 may seem like more of a peninsula issue that's localized to the area between Ann Arbor and East Lansing, and for now it mostly is. But what if, come mid-December, Michigan is number 4 and Michigan State is number 5? If the records are still identical, can you, in good faith, put the Wolverines into the CFP when they lost straight up against the Spartans? If you do, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Winning used to mean everything in college football. My childhood was filled with quality one-loss programs left on the outside looking in at the undefeated schools battling for a national title. The new CFP has to prioritize winning over anything else because its success depends on it. The guiding principle for the committee should be win and you're in, or a whole lot of fans and even more revenue is going to start heading for the exits. I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound, stop and go between Upward Road and Ozone Drive. 26 on the westbound side, delays approaching Long Shoals Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic is moving well and steady. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Pizza Hut.
The original stuffed crust from Pizza Hut is so cheesy you'll want to eat it backwards. But what if we played this song backwards?
One topping, just $12.99.
No one outpizzas the Hut. Ask for a limited time offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for more toppings and extra cheese.
Are you 65 or older and haven't had a colonoscopy? Join a colon cancer screening study and you could earn up to $575.
I'll screen.
It's a study for a non-invasive way to screen for colon cancer from home. By joining, you can help advance the science of screening.
I'll screen too.
You'll just need to provide a stool sample, and a colonoscopy will be done through your own insurance. Enroll now and screen to help create a better future for all.
I'll screen.
I'll screen.
Let's all screen for colon cancer.
Visit screeningstudy.com to sign up or learn more. That's screeningstudy.com.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
Go to Total Wine, you'll save more. So many wines and spirits galore. Down through the aisles with corks to pop. Ask for friendly advice while you shop. Oh, so much to explore. Oh, so many to pour. Holiday cheers, clink, clink, clink. Get everyone their favorite drink.
With our wondrous selection and totally low prices, Total Wine & More is your savings wonderland. Drink responsibly, B21.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets on our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Hear that snoring? 2 sleeping puppies. Oh, they're awake! And they're heading over to that cute chubby baby that's just sitting there. What? Oh, now they're licking his face. Words will never do this justice. You'll just have to picture it.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
All right, wrapping things up here. We are apparently now on the hunt for Jeremy's favorite hockey team. So I have adopted the Seattle Kraken because their jerseys are incredible, and they've got that cool S. I love the logo and the colors and everything. And now you need a hockey team.
Well, Armchair Commentary, our resident hockey analyst, did this on Twitter yesterday. He put out that he needed a hockey team. Well, apparently Butler came through with some swag.
He needed a college basketball team.
A college team, I'm sorry. A college basketball team. Well, apparently Butler's mascot came through with some swag. And
nice.
The official mascot account and all those things. I've always wanted a hockey team. So I lived in Greenville before I moved back to Asheville. I became very fond of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. They're, first of all, some of the best merchandise you'll ever see in your life. But I want an NHL team. So we're going to put this out on social medias and see if somebody can convince me to pull for their hockey team.
Okay.
And if they do, look, I've been a Jets fan for 35 years. So when I'm a fan, I'm a fan. And so I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it to the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook world. Somebody convince me of who I should pull for.
He's just in it for the free stuff.
Well, free stuff wouldn't hurt, but a winner wouldn't hurt either. Because between the Jets and
it's already been suggested in the comments that you pull for the Ottawa Senators because apparently they're not good.
Okay, I need a winner, preferably.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We will see you back here tomorrow at 3 on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Join us for Threadbare Thursday.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, midweek has featured some beautiful weather here all across the Carolinas and the southeast. Could you believe those 70s we had again today? 47 degrees our low tonight. Do see a front approach tomorrow with some rain showers, cooler numbers, high 60, low 42. And that'll set the table for much cooler numbers this weekend, kind of breezy and cooler Saturday, Sunday, highs in the 40s and 50s, lows in the 20s and 30s. I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Zips Car Wash. Fall weather and cooler temps won't get you down when you've got a free wash in your pocket. For a limited time, wash at any Zips Car Wash location and receive a second wash of the same type for free. Bring on the rain, wind, and snow. Your clean ride is just a zip away. Hurry, offer available for a limited time only.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound, stop and go between Upward Road and Ozone Drive. 26 on the westbound side, delays approaching Long Shoals Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic is moving well and steady. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
from the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Off the cuff, on demand, last call.
Yeah, hey,
this is the first one we've done.
Hey, we'll just. I mean, if people want to just hang around and talk, I'm going to make an NHL graphic because I am dedicated. I am going to find an NHL team.
Yes. We also need to put together we got to put together some kind of graphic as well to put out on Twitter so we can steer everybody to win these Hornets tickets. It was a complete surprise. I didn't even ask for them. I just sent the email out to the Hornets communications group, and they were like, "Hey, guess what? We got some tickets. You want to give away some tickets? Sure,
absolutely.
We'll give away tickets.
We love giving things away, especially when we didn't know they were coming.
Oh, indeed. I hadn't even read the email yet. The first email that I saw in it was Brian Travis has sent you tickets, and I went, for what?
Yeah, the secret time, I actually saw that on your screen earlier, and I thought you were behind my back, like getting tickets to things. Like, what?
No, I didn't even know what that was all about. But yeah, Brian's hooking us up. 2 tickets to give away for the Friday night game in Charlotte. The return of Kemba Walker to the Spectrum Center. So this is going to be a continuing thing that we do all throughout the season as well. He basically just said we're going to hook you up. So we will have tickets, Hornets tickets throughout the season to be given away on the show. Wow. And they've got some cool stuff playing this weekend. So they're going to be doing the first Hive 75 night, celebrating the history of the NBA and the Hornets as part of the 75th anniversary. It'll be the first time that they're wearing the new city uniforms, which are pretty cool.
Oh, they're sweet.
Yeah, I love those. They finally incorporated the multicolor pinstripes back into the uniforms, which I really, really dig. And it'll be the first time that the City Edition court is on the floor as well. It's going to be fun. There's a limited edition retro pennant giveaway via the Hornets app. And they have limited ticket inventory available for that game, and there are very limited tickets left for the Sunday game, or the Sunday game. The Sunday game against the Golden State Warriors as Steph Curry comes back to town. I'm hoping to get Dale on the show.
That's what we're hoping for.
I want
to
get Dale on the show for tomorrow, and I'm hoping I can make it for that first segment of the 3:00 hour so he can hear our open.
Oh yeah,
that says one of us scored 6 points on Steph Curry.
Yeah. There's almost no shot that that's not going to come up if Dale's here.
Right.
If Dell does this show, I'm going to have to mention, hey, remember that team that you just beat the bejesus out of?
Mm-hmm.
I was on that team. I was one of those kids. I have a mullet now.
Right.
I didn't have a mullet then.
Stephen Tao, how do you make homemade waffle fries? That sounds awesome. Do you have a waffle press or something that makes that waffle shape?
I kind of need to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Seth One-Ben Malik said Jeremy's going to get hungry reading this. Well, I just noticed it, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I like food.
I'm all the way in. Oh, by the way, I didn't look this up. I got to look up spiralizer.
Spiralizer is totally a thing, by the way.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Spiralizer is totally a thing.
Yeah, it is. It's like the Cuisinart attachment.
Mm-hmm.
That rips it, that shreds everything into ribbons.
Yep.
I mean, that's how you make ribbon fries. But to make curly fries? Well, curly fries have a fry shape, but they're in the spiral. And I guess it's kind of the same way. It would just be a bigger gauge or something to put on the spiralizer.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Tal said he was talking about steak fries, which, by the way, that's my favorite kind of fry. I love a steak fry.
Too big.
Oh, I love a steak fry. You just put them in the steaks, just secretions of. That's what you use to mop up the blood.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of the steak fry. I would much rather go with the shoestring fry.
Oh, those are the worst. Those
are you
just
kidding me?
Greasy and gross and
no. You fix them wrong if you're doing it. If you get
I
grease
got news
on
for
them.
you. I don't fix them. Period. You know who fixes them?
McDonald's.
Uber Eats fixes them.
McDonald's fixes all your shoestring fries.
Yeah. Here's the thing that people don't understand when it comes to us. We are here so often that my wife and I are like two ships passing in the night. If we actually get to sit down and have a meal, it is a shocking day.
Right.
Do you know what we did for dinner last night? I left here. What did we leave here? It's 7:15 last night?
Something like that.
I got home and literally we do these things every once in a while. They're called poor college kid night, where we literally just lay in bed and eat gross college kid food. So last night we had an appetizer of lovely sandwiches done the right way with Duke's mayonnaise and an aggressive amount of it with some tater chips. And then I made a frozen pizza. And that was our dinner. And we laid in bed and watched a John Wayne Gacy documentary. And that's what we did last night.
That sounds like fun food night.
I mean, you call it whatever you want to.
You know, we've done that at my house a few times.
We call it poor college kid night.
Yeah.
It's just our thing.
Now we do fun food night where you do all of the fun finger foods. Like I'll fix some chicken wings and we'll have those little corn dog nugget things and
dog nugget.
Yeah, have you never had corn dog nuggets?
Nope.
They're just little tiny corn dogs, mini corn dogs.
Nope. I don't know what a corn dog nugget is.
It's a mini corn dog. I don't feel like this is hard to understand.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't understand it. I just said I don't know what it is.
Well, so you have a regular corn dog. You take the stick out of it and then you shrink them.
So
that's
for
actually how they make
this
them.
hockey graphic, should I use one with the the Hartford Whalers on it?
That's not a team anymore.
No, it hasn't been in a long time. Or the Atlanta Thrashers. I found one that's super old. It's got the Dallas North Stars on it. Yeah, I know who these are.
They're not a team anymore?
No, the Dallas Stars are a team. They're not the
North
Actually,
Stars.
You know what? I think they were the Minnesota North Stars at that point. Because Minnesota moved from Minnesota to Dallas. I know more about hockey than I want to let on.
And then did they move back? Because they have a team now. It's the Wild.
That was an expansion team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was an expansion.
Yeah, I don't follow hockey.
And here's the thing. I followed hockey when I was a kid. I was a huge that 94 Rangers Stanley Cup team. Oh, yeah. At 7 years old, I was super into it. And then just for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I faded away from it. And now I have no allegiance to anyone. And I also loved Patrick Roy. If I was going to play hockey, I would have been a goaltender.
Yeah, Colorado Avalanche in the Patrick Roy years was they were the thing.
By the way, they are the low key favorite of this.
Oh, to be an Avalanche fan?
To be my favorite team? Oh, 100%. They're the low-key favorite. I would be nominally shocked if they didn't win this.
Was it because of the logo?
Just because, okay, like I'm a Nuggets fan too, so and that's new because I had to shade away from the Knicks because I can't stand James Dolan.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's...
If only we could get you to pull for the Rockies, and then you'd be an all Colorado guy.
I mean, if I was going to pull for a baseball team, it'd be the Mets.
Why?
But because I do still have New York allegiance.
Because you enjoy the pain.
Enjoy sadness.
And misery.
I do enjoy sadness. I'm a big fan.
I mean, as we have shown over the last, what's it been? 18 years? We'll accept anybody on the Red Sox bandwagon. You're more than welcome.
You see, but now there's too many. If I'm going to do that. See, I don't like pulling for trendy teams.
Okay.
So I pulled for the Red Sox when you won the first World Series.
2004.
I was huge pulling for the Red Sox at that point. Solely because you'd never won one. Hell, I'm not secret time. I can say this because it's the after show, and nobody's going to literally fast forward 2 hours to see this.
Yeah,
I pulled for the Patriots the year that they won the first Super Bowl with Brady.
Did you really?
I also bet the piss out of it. I was like a freshman in high school, and I bet the shit out of it.
Right.
That was when I learned, hey, this is fun. I know more about sports than most people, and I can take your monies.
Steven Tao says you need to pull for the Capitals and watch Ovechkin chase and break Gretzky's record.
See, I'm not a record guy.
I'm
not a record guy at all. That's another part of this.
Is that within his reach, though? I mean, because, I don't follow hockey all that much, but I know Alex Ovechkin has been around forever. He's been the greatest player in hockey for the last, 17 years, it feels like?
Oh, yeah. It's been quite
Actually, I think it has been 17 years. Anyway, I saw them throw up a graphic on ESPN the other day because we always have it on in the studio, and he was still like 150 goals behind him. Like, does he have that much playing in him?
That's 3 years. For Ovechkin, that's like 3 years.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's still scoring at that level, but I know he was.
Just what pace does he have to be on to break that record? I'm curious.
It's 150. It's Steven Tao said it's absolutely within reach.
Okay. All right. Like I said, that was an honest statement. I have no idea.
He scored 10 in the first 9 games. I tell you anything.
No, there you go. And how many do they have? 80? 80 in a hockey season?
I think it's 80.
80? 82?
I want to say it's 80 or 82.
I think it's 82. I'm looking at his career stats here.
I'm trying to get my computer to move.
See, it's just one of those things. Like I'm just gonna have to get like a Hockey for Dummies book because it's the points thing doesn't make sense to me. Like, so you can score this many points in a season, but you get points for goals and assists and.
You're talking about individual points. I thought you were talking about the schedule or the standings because the standings make immense sense. Gray Ford said it is 82 games.
Yeah.
Hey, Gray.
Hey, what's up, Gray?
Hadn't seen you today. I do thoroughly enjoy that this has become like the neighborhood bar for sports.
Right.
And it's a neighborhood that goes from here to Canada, and I'm a big fan of it.
Right.
By the way, looking at people you only get one click when you do the bet us thing. So when I see the affiliate portal, I can see where people are doing this from.
Yeah.
I've had to look up 2 different flags because I did not know what country that was from.
So it is. So you get a point for a goal and a point for an assist.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Great.
It's always just not made sense to me.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if you saw this or not, but we are about to start a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook campaign to find my new favorite hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
I have no rooting allegiance, and I want a hockey team. I love the Swamp Rabbits in Greenville. I mean, I love going to those games.
I went to one of those games. It was fun.
And I know who none of those people are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who. I don't understand the affiliations. That's much like the minor league in baseball. I know those because of him. That's about the only reason I know who those are.
Right. I mean, if you guys want hockey content, and we know that Armchair Commentary is going to be giving us some good hockey content, but if we want some local hockey content, I mean, I'm very, very good friends with a former professional hockey player who we could get in here at any moment Chris Kowalczyk, we could get him in here anytime we want.
Oh, yeah.
And
who did he play for?
I don't know who he played for. He never made it to the NHL. He played for, minor leagues. I know he was in somebody's book. Somebody wrote a book about like the greatest goons of hockey and of all time or something. And Chris was actually mentioned several times in that book. He was apparently a pretty big fighter. He freaks you out too when you meet him because, he's a funny guy and he's got a weird sense of humor and he'll just pop his teeth out at you because he's got all four fronts are fake and he'll just pop his retainer out or whatever. I was just trying to check in here and see just how my Seattle Kraken are doing. I still haven't watched a game, but I love that damn. I love that damn logo and the color scheme and everything. Hey, 4-8 in the Pacific Division, coming up last. Yeah,
yes,
that's hot.
All right.
They scored a total of 9 points all season. That seems pretty brutal.
Brutal bad?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't listening to you.
I said they've scored a total of 9 points all season.
No, I heard that, but I wasn't listening to any. I heard that got me back into it, but sorry, I'm trying to make this graphic.
That's fine. Anyhow, let's see here.
Yeah, I can genuinely say I have no. There's no.
Who the hell is Will Clement?
He's retired and living in Waynesville.
Yeah, Stephen Tao says he lives in Waynesville. I'm guessing that's a hockey player.
I'm going to assume.
Now I got to look him up.
But this is your time saver traffic.
Is that the guy that got his throat slashed?
No.
I did enjoy that story.
You're a weird guy. You're a weird guy.
Let's see.
Player turned announcer.
Will Clement, hockey player. Canadian former professional ice hockey player who became an author, speaker, actor, entrepreneur, and hockey broadcaster. 11 seasons and was two-time All-Star for the Philadelphia Flyers. Interesting.
Gray Ford said Nashville has a great fan base, and I love Nashville. Nashville's a city I am really fond of.
I've only been there once, so.
Oh, it's tremendous.
And it wasn't for any extended period of time. It was just for a job interview, and then we did go to the Charlie Daniels Museum.
Amy and I went for the 4th of July, and it was insane.
Oh, I loved your video, too. Your video of because y'all were right across the street from Nissan Stadium where they were shooting the fireworks off, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a wild trip.
Yeah.
We wound up on the roof of our hotel with the owner of the hotel. Because that's what we do.
Gray Ford says Carolina is good, too. I mean, you say that. And Adam Gold, who is before us on ESPN Asheville, he says that all the time, too. I don't see it. I don't know a single person that is a Carolina Hurricanes fan, other than I think Kevin Vick says he is. But I've never seen him talk about hockey. Adam asked me that one day on his show. I did the reporters roundtable, and he was like, "Hey, what do is everybody getting excited for the season out there in Western North Carolina?" And I was like, "No, it's hockey. The only hockey fans that we have here are transplants, and they all have their own teams." I remember seeing like 2 cars in this town that had Hurricanes logos, stickers on the back of their vehicles. It's just not something that we were ever raised with. When ESPN2 was the hot thing, and they showed NHL on Tuesday or Thursday nights or something like that. Like I would stick around and I would watch a little bit of the Colorado Avalanche. because it seemed like they were on every night.
Did you see they officially killed ESPN Classic?
Did they really?
Mm-hmm. ESPN Classic's officially dead.
Well, when was the last time anybody watched it?
Well, I mean, YouTube killed it.
Yeah.
I want to watch the Miami Hurricanes play the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Cool, go to YouTube. You can watch it right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for shit. Because for whatever reason, YouTube does not kick back classic games.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'll never understand how that happens, but
I can't do that. I can't watch classic games. I know there are some people who get into that. Some people who are like, oh, it's just rewatching the national championship game from 1982. I mean, at some point I'm sure I've seen highlights of it. But that's all you need. I already know how the game ends. I'm not going to sit here and watch a classic game.
I'd be remiss if I didn't point out, you do realize that you just said the exact explanation of why I don't watch movies, right?
Well, because you know how all the movies
how it
end.
ends. Why would I watch it? Why would I care?
The stories are so much more entertaining than the games for me. It's like last night. I was watching college basketball, and I watched the second half of the Tar Heel game after I got home. It looked pretty good. Saw some of the Kansas game as well. Watched the first 15, 20 minutes of the Duke game. And I was like, okay, now it's time for something else. I've been sportsing too much today.
Yeah.
So I went and watched a movie.
That's how I feel most days.
And I watched a movie that I've seen 800 times, and I don't care because I like the movie.
I genuinely feel most days. I have sports too much today.
Mm-hmm.
I want to not sports anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steven, I have. I've watched movies over and over and over again.
Which still makes
to me,
no
it's
sense
completely
to me.
different.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, look, I've watched this movie 1 billion times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's going to change?
No.
No. It's not. It's going to be just as stupid as it was the first time.
You're just a hater of everything.
I don't like movies. I think they're stupid.
I got to take my hat off because it's so hot in here.
Or you could not.
I'm gonna. And I don't care if my bald head offends you.
Your head looks like a cack.
Like a cack?
Like a weird mutant.
Does it? If I turn it. Now, cock it up a little bit, and it just gets pointier.
Yeah, it's weird. You have I swear to God, Sloth from the Goonies is related to you somewhere.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. You can throw shots at me all you want to.
I usually do.
I mean, it's tough knowing that I'm sexier than you are.
Anybody want to do? Anybody in the comments want to deal with that, or?
You just wish you had all of this.
I need you to stop doing everything you just did.
All of that.
That's worse than a fucking crawfish. Good Lord, that was awful. Oh.
Gray Ford says he watched the Blue Streak so many times it's nauseating.
What is the Blue Streak?
I have no idea. And I'm sure I just blew his mind like, you never seen Blue Streak? Because that's what I do with movies that I've seen
let's
over
play
and over.
that game with me.
Oh,
name
God,
a
this
movie,
is the...
Name a movie that you think every person in the history of time has seen.
Yeah, okay, this was the cop movie with Martin Lawrence that was not the good cop movie that he was in. It wasn't Bad Boys. You're right, exactly. It wasn't Bad Boys. It was the other one. It was the one that I think he almost died making. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Like, remember when he had to go to the hospital because he was, like, trying to lose weight, and so he was, like, jogging in L.A. with all the sweats on and shit, and he had to be rushed to the hospital. He almost died from dehydration. I think that was this movie. I could be wrong. It may be another movie that he was that was the problem with, but yeah, no. I don't think I ever saw that one.
Shawshank Redemption I have seen. That's probably the only movie in this that you're going to say. That was the last time I saw Andy Dufresne, a man who climbed through a mile of filth came out clean on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that movie.
Who fed the gremlin after midnight? Stephen Towns says, anything Marvel or Batman he's seen many, many times. But he's also a movie buff. Yeah, Shawshank. We all saw that.
I think everybody had to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy's Minds. I've never even heard of it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Kyle Long to play this weekend. Hey, Kansas City's getting healthy.
Do you mean Enemy Mine? That's way too old for him to have seen. He definitely did not see Enemy Mine.
I don't in any way do old movies.
And he doesn't in any way do sci-fi. If it's a space movie with aliens, he's completely out.
I am Seacrest all the way the F out.
Now, I will tell you this. Enemy Mine, my mom, she has like the biggest crush on Dennis Quaid.
Stand by me.
And we probably watched that movie 800 times. Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr.
Dennis Quaid. Pauly Shore. In a world far away.
Yeah. Enemy Mine. That was a very special movie. One, it was sci-fi. Two, it was made in 1985. That's another no-go for Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't do old. I need special effects. I need CGI and shit.
I would like to see that movie remade with today's special effects. I think it'd be that would be cool. Gray Ford, if you were recasting Enemy Mine, Gray Ford, who would you put in it? Just curious.
I think he's being a smartass. I'm a big fan of that. No one's ever watched the second. Oh, Boondock Saints? I've actually seen that one. I have seen Boondock Saints. For nothing else, because they shoot a cat in it, and that made me... I laughed until I about peed in my pants. And I know you're not supposed to, but I did. You're not supposed to laugh at such things. Well, Here's the thing. I did. Because I'm a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And agree, Stephen. Never, ever, ever watch the second one. Boondock Saints, All Saints Day, awful. Could not stand it.
All Saints Day?
That was the name of the sequel. And it was terrible.
Goodfellas, never seen it.
Which is so dumb. Like, how can you not do gangster movies?
I don't mind the gangster movie, but...
I mean, Godfather, Scarface, Goodfellas, Casino. How many of those movies have you seen?
Of the ones you just said?
Yeah.
0.
You've never seen Scarface?
Mm-mm. Which is funny because I literally, my favorite pro wrestler of all time was based off Tony Montana. I mean, I know the gist of the story.
Who's that?
Razor Ramon.
Oh. Duh.
It's my favorite pro wrestler of all time. Shawn Michaels, very close second.
Who's shocked?
What, the overly charismatic and the say hello to the bad guy are my two favorite wrestlers of all time?
Right.
Yeah, that shouldn't shock anyone. If that shocks you, you have not watched the show nearly enough.
With the toothpick hanging out his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And just flick it at him.
And the sweet moulet like mine. He's shocked.
I love that he didn't break the character when he came to WCW either.
Say hello. I loved that.
Like he started going as Scott Hall, but he's still talking like Razor Ramon. Like, dude, you're not even even Dominican or whatever you're supposed to be.
Wait a minute. You were Safwan bin Malik said, seriously, you've not seen any of those? Dude, I'm telling you. Take the most basic movie you've ever. Josh Michael that does the morning show for Star 104.3. Here literally shares a wall with us.
Mm-hmm.
He is blown away that I've never seen Top Gun. And then I thought I watched it, and I don't know what the hell I watched, but he said something about Val Kilmer, and I went, Val Kilmer wasn't in that movie. And as soon as I said that, he went, and he just walked away. And I went, oh,
You may not have remembered Val Kilmer. He was blonde in that movie.
I guess oh no, it was.
You had the different movie.
I checked it. I'm pretty sure I was watching porn or something. I don't know what I was watching, but it was not that.
Oh God! Of course you were.
I don't know what it was, but I know what it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Safwan, I agree with you. I've told him this time and time again. Like, go home tonight and watch these movies.
And you know what I'm going to do?
Nothing.
Not that.
He's not going to go home and watch the movies at all. And then if you made him watch the movies, he'd still come back and be like, oh, that was gay. I don't like that. That's stupid. Stop it. He'd come back and tell you Scarface is the worst movie he's ever seen.
No, I would probably like Scarface.
Of course you would.
You know what I hated? Stupid Elf. Here's the thing. You want to know why I don't take advice
from Tank? I don't understand.
Made me go watch Elf, which was absolutely the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Which I don't understand because you love Will Ferrell.
Yeah, but I hate.
And that's one of his funniest movies.
No, you said dumbest wrong. That's a weird way to say dumbest. Because that is the dumbest movie he has ever done by a lot, by like a whole lot.
No, I'm gonna say I think you're wrong on that one.
Name one dumber. And you can't use the new one with Paul Rudd. By the way, you want me to tell you the dumbest thing you've heard today? The 2021 Sexiest Man Alive list just came out. Paul Rudd won it. You do with that what you want to.
The House. That was a stupid movie.
Stephen Towle said Elf sucks.
Get Hard. That was stupid.
You're stupid. Get Hard's probably the best movie he's ever done. Get Hard was hilarious.
Zoolander. Dumb as fuck.
You shut your dirty whore mouth. I am really, really ridiculously good looking.
Land of the Lost. I know you didn't see that one, but that was dumb.
No, that did not strike me as something I would enjoy.
Blades of Glory.
You stop.
Awful.
You stop it. Blades of Glory was hilarious. It was way better than stupid Napoleon Dynamite.
That's not saying a lot. That was the worst movie ever made.
Stephen Towle said in a world with Ryan Reynolds, how can Paul Rudd win that? I freaking idea. Not that I give even the flying raddest of a fuck, but the weird news story that I told, it had Paul Rudd win Sexiest Man Alive in the middle of it. I kept getting distracted by it.
God. I don't get it either.
Oh, and I still have this.
What the heck are you guys doing? Trying to ruin my life and make me look like a friggin' idiot?
Bingo.
Night at the Roxbury. Stupid.
You're stupid.
You're
naming all these great Will Ferrell movies like, that movie sucked. You suck.
You're awful.
You're a towel.
You're a towel.
You're a towel.
No, I take that back. Now that I think about it, the house was funny.
The House, I don't remember that one.
It's the one where you probably didn't see it, but it had Rafi in it, so now you have to go see
Rafi
it.
Bomb!
Yeah, it had Rafi in it from The League, where he and his wife need money, and so they make a casino inside their house, and then they get robbed or something, or become a target for thieves, and it was kind of funny.
I'm tagging every NHL team in this, and I do not care.
Shamelessly going to be searching for merch.
100%. Yeah, thanks for calling me out on that, by the way, dick.
Oh, is I not supposed to let that out of the bag?
No, I just supposed to be
as soon as Armchair said it, we all knew what your angle was. Let's see how much free shit I can get.
Hey, shut up.
I mean, hell, I wish I'd have thought of it first. I wish I'd have done it to the Seattle Kraken.
Well, you should have. I told you should have done that. Step Brothers, by the way, that's the one that you haven't said yet that you should have.
No, I was naming all the stupid Will Ferrell movies. Those were all the bad ones.
Step Brothers
was great.
If you had said that was stupid, we would have fought.
No, yeah, I mean, Will Ferrell's got his he's got his moments.
Do.
Semi-pro. Stop it.
Semi-pro was great. You shut the... God. See, this is why I don't listen to anything you say about movies, because you keep saying movies that were great. Go, that movie sucked. You suck. Okay?
I mean,
you're the same one that said Elf was good.
I mean, it was funny.
That movie was terrible. Elf was awful.
No, it wasn't.
It was awful.
No, it wasn't.
Awful.
And it had Zooey in it. I love her so much.
Who?
Zooey Death Channel.
Yeah, also a terrible part of that movie.
What?
Oh, she's awful. She's the worst.
Excuse me?
She is the worst.
Why?
I don't know. I've never liked anything she's ever been.
She is friggin' adorable, and she can sing. You take that back.
I'm not gonna, but I mean, if it makes you feel better, if you think I'm going to, how about you just wait on me to do that?
What?
I don't know. There's just always been something about her that
you just can't get down with how awesome she is.
It don't.
I gotta sit down. My old man back's starting to hurt.
Does that mean you can put your hat on now?
No, because it's still like 700 degrees in here.
It'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so I'm getting ready to share this out on Facebook, Twitter, all the things. The goal is I want one of these hockey teams to somebody wow me. I don't even
somebody
wow me.
So I wasn't supposed to call that out, but now you're saying, it's just yeah.
If it involves me getting on a plane, I'm probably gonna. That'd be cool.
What, you think somebody's going to pay for your ticket to come watch a game?
That'd be cool.
They're not going to do that.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, I get that hockey's hurting for fans, but come on.
Look, Puddin', I wound up on a boat of somebody I don't know.
This is true.
Still don't know, even after being on said person's boat. Don't underestimate me, okay?
Who knows? Maybe you will. Maybe you'll get wined and dined by some awful hockey team.
That's fine.
Who's just desperate for fans. The Arizona Coyotes. There you go.
Are they still a team?
Yeah, they are still a team.
Do they know they still have a team?
No.
Stephen Dow said it's not what you can do for your hockey team. It's what your hockey team can do for you. Bingo. That's 100% right. I agree with you.
You should be a Jets fan.
See, but that's confusing. And that somebody brought that up earlier. Well, you can just streamline it, be a Jets fan. Yeah. But see, then
it's a way cooler logo.
Yeah, but my SEO is going to get confused. And when I search Jets merchandise, they'll be like, oh, which one do you mean?
Right.
We're lost. We don't know what to do because we work for Google and we're stupid.
Oh, God.
Oh, good Lord. I feel like I've been sitting in this chair since for 84 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have not left this chair all day long. I got here at 8. I have stepped outside to smoke and to pee. That is it. Food was brought to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Delicious barbecue. I highly recommend it.
You're welcome. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't as good as Kevin Vick's barbecue.
Oh, Kevin Vick's good hell.
Right.
And Patrick Holt's.
And I'm sure
I've
it's
never
probably,
eaten it, and I don't need to. I know it's good. I see it.
Oh, okay. So, by the way, did you see that? So y'all are putting Zach Wilson on the scout team
for this week.
Oh, just for this week?
Yeah, just for this week.
I was like, what is this all about? Mike White's going to start. Josh Johnson will not be the backup. It'll be Joe Flacco. And while he's still recovering from injury, Zach Wilson is going to be the scout quarterback. He's terrible. You guys punted that pick.
Who?
Zach Wilson.
You stop.
Don't you put that evil on me.
All right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. We appreciate everybody hanging around with us, just listening to us rap about bullshit.
Yep, it's what we do.
That's true. That's true. Each and every day.
The post is live on Instagram, Facebook, and it's about to be live on Twitter.
Yep.
May the best team win.
We'll see. We'll see if anybody comes forward with some merch for Jeremy Greene.
I'm all the way in. It doesn't have to be merch. I can be bought. I am a cheap hooker. But.
We'll see if the Carolina Hurricanes can come up with anything for you.
Oh, I know. Somebody's going to be like, you should vote for Carolina. They're your local team.
Right.
Do you know how many Carolina teams I pull for? 0.
I mean, kind of the Tar Heels when they're not playing Florida State.
Bingo.
Well, that's it. All right. We will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Don't forget, share it out with your friends. We'll be here for Threadbare Thursday. Get your questions in now if you would like, or we just do it the way we always do it. Just take it on the fly. All right, we will see you tomorrow. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Do. Play the song.
Oh. Hold
Play the song! Not that one.
We got to recharge your Brave batteries.
It's funnier when I play them out of order.